Chapter 1. 8 years ago, the Nine-Tails demon fox caused troubles in the world. The whole Konoha was shaken, landslides and tsunamis. All of a sudden, the huge village of Konoha Shinobi was engulfed in flames, chaos and wailing everywhere. In this life-and-death crisis, a Hokage couple stepped forward, at the cost of their lives, and tried their best to seal the Nine-Tails on their newly born child and quell the disaster. However, 8 years later, the child who lost his parents and accepted the seal of Nine-Tails did not become a hero praised by everyone. Instead, people called him Demon Fox. Konoha Shinobi Village. On the rock statue of Hokage towering on the top of the leaves, a couple of old and young stands here, admiring the scenery of the whole village from the top. Konoha Village, which is hundreds of miles away, seems so small in their eyes at this moment. The prosperous and peaceful Konoha Village is full of shouts from various stalls. Third Hokage, who was wearing a white robe and red cloak, looked at this scene happily and asked kindly, turning aside the blonde-haired child beside him, "Naruto, do you like Konoha Village?" The old man's voice rang in his ears, but Naruto was indifferent. Although there was a lively and excited smile on the surface, his heart was very indifferent, without any ripples. Konoha, this place where I was born and nurtured. It stands to reason that anyone would have nostalgia for their hometown, but Naruto has a deep feeling for Konoha. Until now, he will never forget the endless abuse, spat, and annoyance in the past 8 years. That series of voice words, like a spell, kept swirling in Naruto's ears. "Fox, get out of this village. Get away from me, you monster. Why isn't he dead yet? I really don't know why Master Third Hokage left such a monster in the village. Just looking at it makes me sick. God of Plague." Naruto can't forget these voices, let alone those eyes that threw stones at him as if he was looking at a strange person. But at this moment, he still nodded with a smile and replied, "Of course I like it, Grandpa Third Hokage. Konoha is so big." Seeing the innocence of a child shining in Naruto's eyes, Third Hokage nodded in satisfaction and began to explain the truth of the will of fire to Naruto. But no matter how brainwashed by Third Hokage, Naruto remains indifferent. In his heart, the little seeds had already germinated, and Konoha's prejudice against him for 8 years had already made him see the true face of this world. One day, he will seek justice for his treatment. The boy who slays the dragon will eventually become a dragon. After Third Hokage left, Naruto's eyes returned to indifference, and he glanced indifferently at the Konoha village under his feet and said silently in his heart, "System, check my current attributes." Ding. The host attribute panel is generated immediately. Ding. The attribute panel is generated. Host, Uzumaki Naruto. Age, 8 years old. Permanent sign-in area, Konoha Shinobi Village. Cumulative sign-in rewards, Captain of the 6th Division of Shinigami Byakuya Kuchiki Template. Unlock 40%. Shadow Clone Technique. Water Style Mist Shinobi Technique. Wine Style Refining Empty Ammo. Refresh time from the next check-in location, 1 hour. Note, if you sign in at the sign-in location refreshed by the system, you will get generous sign-in rewards. Sound down. Naruto's mind became clearer. That's right, he is a time traveler. It has been 8 years since I came to this world, and I awakened the God-level sign-in system 3 years ago. God-level sign-in system. As long as you sign in at one place, you can get rewards. It stands to reason that Naruto can check in infinitely anywhere in Konoha. However, check-ins are of limited value. If you repeatedly sign into a place, the rewards you get will only get smaller and smaller. In the end, it was even more tasteless. However, if you sign in at the place where the system is refreshed, the value will be high. Last time, Naruto checked in at the place where the system was refreshed, the Hokage rock statue, and got the template of the Shinigami captain, Byakuya Kuchiki. However, because of Naruto's small body, he can't grasp the full power of Byakuya Kuchiki in a short time, so he can only gradually integrate the templates by unlocking it slowly. Up to now, 40% of the fusion has been achieved. Don't look at only 40%. This 40% power has already transformed and sublimated Naruto's body, possessed Jonin-level strength. And, with another 10% unlocked, Naruto can use the power of the Byakuya Kuchiki Zanpakuto Shurikai, Senbon Zakura. At that time, Naruto will be even more advanced by leaps and bounds. And this is also Naruto's whole card, and he doesn't want to expose it until the critical moment. 8-year-old Jonin, whose talent is no less than that of Uchiha Itachi. But for the current strength, Naruto is not very satisfied. He knows that there are many masters in Konoha, but Jonin can't make away from Konoha. Therefore, he looked forward to the next sign and reward even more. Is there another hour? Let's go eat some ramen first. Saying that, Naruto slowly walked down the rock statue of Hokage. Although with his strength, it only takes a few minutes to go from the rock statue to the ramen restaurant, but he prefers to go step by step like this, because he knew that even though third Hokage seemed to have left, he was still watching him. This is Konoha, the cage, the incarnation of hell. Chapter 2. Konoha Village, inside the Hokage office. Third Hokage, wearing a white robe and red cloak, sat on the desk, observing the crystal ball in his palm. The movement of Naruto at this moment is emerging in the crystal ball. Suddenly, the office wooden door opened. An old man with a cane and half of his body wrapped in bandages, but with an unusually strong and mighty figure walked in. This old man is another powerful figure in Konoha. Danzo. Third Hokage seemed to have expected Danzo to come. Danzo glanced indifferently at the picture of the crystal ball in third Hokage's hand, snorted coldly, and said, "Sarutobi, give Nine-Tails Jinchuriki to me. The offspring of fourth Hokage, the talent cannot be buried. Give it to me, and I will train him into a qualified ninja." Third Hokage sighed. "It is precisely because he is Minato's child that I want him to grow up happily. Now he is not suitable to join the root." The sympathetic words of third Hokage made Danzo snort sarcastically. "Happy? Under your management, I haven't seen how happy he is. Sarutobi, you are afraid that he will grow up and be difficult to control. Your worries are superfluous. I will train him." Brainwashing became the backbone of the village. It's a cold-blooded murder weapon. Third Hokage also withdrew his amiable look, turned off the screen of the crystal ball, stared at Danzo, and said indifferently. Danzo didn't retort, only a sneer and sharp eyes that didn't budge. After a while, third Hokage shook his head and said, "Danzo, stop talking. Let's watch for a while longer." Danzo narrowed his eyes and said nothing. Can't extract chakra. This is naturally the illusion given to them by Naruto. In the ninja school, he also plays the role of a crane tail. But being low-key doesn't mean Naruto doesn't know anything. Naruto has long been familiar with the darkness of Konoha and has secretly improved his own strength. It's like a piece of trash. But in fact, the things of the ninja school have been integrated as early as Naruto's first month of enrollment. An hour later, a system notification sounded in Naruto's mind. Ding. The check-in location has been refreshed. Ding. The next check-in location is Uchiha Clanland? Hearing the sound, Naruto froze for a moment. Uchiha Tribal Land? If there is any place in Konoha that Naruto has not been to, the Uchiha tribe is definitely one of them. It's not that the Uchiha tribe is heavily guarded, but a year ago, there is already a ghost land. A year ago, the Uchiha family was killed in a massacre. The mighty genius Uchiha Itachi slaughtered the Uchiha clan with his own hands. Only his younger brother, Uchiha Sasuke, survived. The land of the Uchiha tribe, which was famous at the beginning, is now desolate and no one wants to approach it. Originally, Naruto wanted to sign in at the Uchiha place a long time ago, but after the night of the Uchiha genocide, the Uchiha place was sealed off and no one was allowed to enter or leave. Unblocked until recently. After eating the ramen in the bowl, paying the bill, Naruto wiped his mouth and set off for the Uchiha tribe. Due to the internal affairs of the village, the Uchiha family was forced to move to a remote place in the village. When he came to the Uchiha clan, Naruto couldn't help sighing when he saw the huge clan land, but it was deserted. The once glorious ethnic group has fallen into decline because of power disputes. But Naruto didn't mind his own business, closed his eyes, and said silently, "System, start signing in." Ding. Congratulations to host. Successfully signed in at the system refresh location. Signed in location, Uchiha Clanland. Ding. Rewarded. 3 Tomoe Sharingan Awakening card. Fire style, fire extinguisher. 5.6% EXP. Byakuya Kuchiki Template 40% unlocked, plus 5.6%. Now 45.6% unlocked. 3 Tomoe Sharingan Awakening card. Use it to awaken the Uchiha clan's blood successor limit pupil technique. 3 Tomoe Sharingan, and it is in the mature state of 3 Goyu. Do you want to use it now? Naruto's eyes lit up. He didn't expect to get a mature 3 Tomoe Sharingan at this check-in. 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Although these eyes are called the eyes of the curse, their power is undoubtedly powerful, and the mature 3-hook jade can evolve again. Mangekyo, eternal Mangekyo. It can even evolve to a Rinnegan. The destruction of the Uchiha clan has a lot to do with the ability of Konoha's eyes. Realizing that the third-generation sight had disappeared and the surroundings were deserted, Naruto took a deep breath and chose to use it now without hesitation. Use now. Consolidating blood successor limits for host 3 Tomoe Sharingan. The system sounded, and Naruto only felt a burning sensation in his eyes. All the chakra in the body is converging toward the eyes. At this moment, Naruto's eyes also changed. The blue eyes have disappeared, replaced by a pair of scarlet pupils. It is like a crescent moon, blinking, very strange. At this time, Naruto also felt the change of sight in his eyes. The whole world became wider, and the world seemed to be slowed down several times, becoming more and more clearly visible. Even, he can already see the flow of his own chakra, and he can control the chakra in his body more and more smoothly, with precision, and his breath is sublimating. Fortunately, Third Hokage has turned off the crystal ball, but even if he is still watching, he cannot see the changes of Naruto, only the back of Naruto with his head bowed. Otherwise, if Third Hokage sees these eyes, he will definitely be shocked. The Sharingan, which the Uchiha clan is proud of, appeared on Uzumaki Naruto at this moment. Awakening the 3 Tomoe Sharingan and unlocking part of Byakuya Kuchiki's template, Naruto's strength has grown tremendously. At this moment, it is not a problem for him to blow up a Jonin. Chapter 3. After signing in, Naruto immediately left the Uchiha tribe. Back home, Naruto saw that Third Hokage was waiting for him at the door early. Seeing Naruto come back, he smiled kindly. Seeing Third Hokage at the door, Naruto didn't care about it, as if he had expected that Third Hokage would come. Then he greeted Third Hokage, pretending to be puzzled, and asked, "Grandpa Third Generation, why are you here?" Third Hokage smiled peacefully and said, "Come and see you, Naruto. Where have you been?" Naruto sneered secretly in his heart. Where did Third Hokage not know? My every move is under the surveillance of Third Hokage. Naruto still felt the sight of the crystal ball until he saw Third Hokage. Obviously, Third Hokage came here because Naruto went to the Uchiha tribe. The reason for asking this question is also to make a cliché and see Naruto's reaction. But Naruto didn't mean to hide it at all, and directly told Third Hokage that he had gone to the Uchiha tribe, and he had already prepared the wording. That is to say, I saw a child who was about the same age as me often go there, and I also wanted to visit and play with that child. After all, Naruto is still a child now, and he hasn't stayed in the Uchiha clan for too long. Third Generation nodded without thinking too much. After a few chatters, after giving this month's support to Naruto, Third Hokage turned and left. He also just finished arguing with Danzo, and when he saw that Naruto went to the Uchiha clan, he came directly to ask. Since there was nothing to do, naturally I didn't stay long. Watching Third Hokage leave, Naruto narrowed his eyes. Where is this hometown? This is simply a prison. Not only is my every move being monitored, if there is anything suspicious, I will also be slandered. Intrigue everywhere. But Naruto seems to have gotten used to it, clenched his fist slightly. He will break this cage sooner or later. Make everyone here pay. Taking a few deep breaths, Naruto calmed down and walked into the house. The house is very tidy, and although Third Hokage didn't give much child support, Naruto didn't starve to death by virtue of his own ability. Taking advantage of the fact that Third Hokage had just left and hadn't used the crystal ball to monitor himself, Naruto immediately closed his eyes and muttered in his heart, "Shadow clone, release." Bang! Accompanied by Naruto's voice, in the hidden cave in the distant waterfall, a shadow clone exactly like Naruto turned into a puff of smoke and disappeared. This is the shadow clone that Naruto arranged 3 years ago when the system was awakened. Up to now, this shadow clone has been practicing for 3 full years. Time to reap the fruits. After the shadow clone disappeared, a huge amount of information and experience flowed into Naruto's mind, causing Naruto's head to slightly hurt. But soon, Naruto sorted out all the information, and the system sounded, ding. Get 3 years of shadow clone cultivation experience. Ding. Get 11.4% of Byakuya Kuchiki Template, unlocking experience. Learn Rasengan, learn Fire Style, Great Fireball, learn Fire Style. Successive voices sounded, making Naruto more and more joyful in his heart. Not only learned Rasengan and many ninjutsu, but more importantly, Byakuya Kuchiki's template unlocking progress has increased by 11.4%. The last time it has been unlocked to 45.6%, plus this time 11.4%, that is to say, the template has been unlocked by 57%. You know, Unlocking half of the templates gives access to the power of the Zanpakuto Shurikai. It is now unlocked to 57%, which means that Naruto can already use Senbonzakura's Shurikai. This is a big hole card. Coupled with the many ninjutsu and Rasengan learned, Naruto's strength has once again been greatly improved. Now Naruto, a ninja who can easily crush Jonin's strength, is not a problem. And he finally has the trump card to protect himself. Naruto clenched his fists. He has been waiting for this moment for a long time. However, Naruto did not relax his vigilance. Next, let Shadow Clone practice ninjutsu, delve into higher-level Rasengan, and master chakra nature transformation. And myself, I have to hurry up and improve. Time flies and 4 years pass quickly. In the past 4 years, Naruto has not relaxed for a moment. In 4 years, with the help of Shadow Clone, Byakuya Kuchiki's template has been unlocked to 87%, only one step away from Bankai. The mastery of Shinigami skills such as White Hits, Shuinpa, and Kaido is also more proficient, and it has reached the level of Grandmaster. For the remaining 13% of the template, Naruto is in no rush. He knows that the more templates are unlocked, the more effort will be required in the follow-up, and it cannot be fully unlocked in a short time. Not only that, Naruto has also learned a lot of ninjutsu, mastered the change of the nature of chakra, and the prototype of wind-style spiral shuriken has appeared. Now he can already protect himself by making waves on the leaves. Tomorrow is the graduation exam for ninja school. In the eyes of outsiders, Naruto is just a waste that has just learned how to refine chakra and clone technique, can't use it well. As everyone knows, this waste is about to leap into the Dragon's Gate and transform into a dragon. Even in the past 4 years, Konoha executives such as 3rd Hokage and Danzo have not relaxed their surveillance of Naruto all the time. But they also don't know about Naruto's changes at all, let alone notice any clues. Up to now, they still believe that Naruto is still the tail of the crane and is still firmly in their hands. Chapter 4. Call. Naruto took a deep breath, had a simple breakfast, and came to the ninja school. As usual, the villagers of Konoha still regard him as a plague god and don't want to approach him. When he came to the ninja school, none of his classmates were willing to approach him. Naruto was no stranger to this situation. Looking at the noisy students of the same level around him, Naruto's eyes did not fluctuate. He came to the corner seat and sat down, closed his eyes and rested his mind, quietly waiting for the teacher to come. As for Uchiha Sasuke in front of Naruto, the treatment is completely different from Naruto. Surrounded by countless nympho girls around Sasuke, all the girls flocked to please Sasuke, chattering endlessly, wanting to win Sasuke's favor, as if they were like younger sister fans. Sasuke, tomorrow is the graduation exam. Are you ready? I don't know what the exam content will be tomorrow. Are you stupid? Sasuke is the best talent in our year. Does he still need to prepare? Yes, no matter what the test content is, Sasuke will pass it easily. I really want to share with Sasuke. Sasuke was not too annoying, not only did not respond, but also did not drive away the girls around, allowing them to cheer and make noise, as if enjoying the taste of being touted. Soon, the teacher knocked on the door, and all the girls reluctantly returned to their seats, and the noisy classroom fell silent. 2 Chunin teachers walked in. The two are very familiar, Yumino Iruka and Mizuki. After Iruka entered the classroom, he confirmed that everyone was present, coughed a few times, and said, "Everyone should know that tomorrow is the graduation exam. The content of the exam is the same as in previous years. It is one of the 3 most basic ninjutsu of ninjas. Clone technique." Yeah. As soon as Iruka finished speaking, several people who were good at clone technique cheered, and of course there were also those who were not good at howling. Iruka patted the table, motioned for silence, and continued. "Tomorrow, Mizuki-sensei and I will be your invigilators. After you go home, practice more and try to pass them all tomorrow. Especially you. Naruto, your clone technique is terrible. Go back and practice hard. If you take the exam, you will repeat the grade." As soon as Iruka's words came out, the whole classroom burst into laughter. Naruto is famous for being a crane tail, and he can't even learn a clone technique. Everyone knows this. But Naruto seemed to be asleep and didn't respond to Iruka's words. Seeing Naruto sleeping on the table, Iruka just wanted to throw a temper tantrum, but Mizuki stopped him immediately. "Forget it, Teacher Iruka." Seeing this, Iruka had no choice but to withdraw her anger and shook her head helplessly. Then, after Iruka said a few words briefly, he asked everyone to study by themselves. He didn't notice that Mizuki was looking at Naruto with greedy and dark eyes. And Naruto also opened his eyes at this moment, glanced at Mizuki, sneered in his heart, and then looked away. No clone technique, of course Naruto deliberately showed it. With Naruto's current strength, he learned shadow clones 7 years ago. So how could he fail to learn a simple clone technique? His goal is the sealed book. Knowing the original work, he knows that Mizuki will definitely find him next. Let him steal the sealed book and pretend to lie to him. As long as he steals the sealed book, he can graduate. The Book of Seals claims to record all of Konoha's forbidden techniques. If there is a chance to see the contents inside, Naruto will not miss it. Moreover, there is Mizuki the Spearman. This is the best opportunity to read the sealed book in a legitimate way. Sure enough, after school, Mizuki found Naruto, told him where the sealed book was, and said a bunch of brainwashing words. Those meaningless words were naturally ignored by Naruto, and Naruto pretended to agree, looking very happy. Mizuki at the side saw it, and smiled grimly as if everything was under his control. As everyone knows, he is the pawn being used. Midnight. In the dead of night, a black shadow suddenly flashed across the house. This figure is Naruto, and Naruto rushed to the hiding place of the sealed book that Mizuki told him with the usual speed. After arriving, as Naruto thought, there was no one around. It is not known whether the third generation deliberately evacuated, or the guards of the sealed book were lured away by Mizuki. Presumably, it should be the former. The sealed book is so important. If the ninjas guarding the sealed book are so easily lured away, then they really don't have enough heads. Moreover, third generation should have seen through Mizuki's plan long ago. Perhaps, this time, third generation's conscience discovered that he wanted to use Mizuki to let Naruto read the sealed book and make up for Naruto. After thinking about it, Naruto went up to get the sealed book without hesitation, then turned around and ran towards the forest. Under the cover of night, Naruto, who shuttles in the forest, is extremely difficult to be found. After running all the way to the depths of the forest and making sure that the third generation's crystal ball couldn't find him for the time being, Naruto stopped and looked at the sealed book in his hand with fiery eyes. A huge scroll that records all of Konoha's forbidden techniques, from down to multiple shadow clone, up to how much is recorded. Naruto is not clear, but since it is said to record all forbidden techniques, there must be a lot. Naruto can't wait to see the content. Look at the broad and profound Konoha. Will there be so many forbidden techniques that you will be dazzled? However, Naruto was dumbfounded when he opened the sealed book. Except for the multiple shadow clone technique at the beginning, the content behind is completely blank. I don't know if it was too late to read the original book or what, but Naruto realized that he was tricked. This is not a real sealed book at all. It's that third Hokage has prepared it long ago, changed the package, and let Naruto see it on purpose. There is only one multiple shadow clone inside, and Naruto learned this technique 7 years ago. Then this sealed book is completely a piece of waste paper to me. Hold. Rao is Naruto, who couldn't help but swear at this moment. After so much effort, what I got was a bunch of waste paper. It's a busy day. It's normal. Thinking about it carefully, how could that idiot Mizuki know the location of the real treasure of the sealed book? Thanks to myself, I am still looking forward to it. Naruto threw the sealed book aside speechlessly and simply stayed here, waiting for Mizuki to recover. After a while, Naruto finally heard the sound of walking. A ninja with a huge shuriken came over and was very happy to see Naruto. This person is Mizuki. Mizuki is panting and sweating profusely. It seems that he has made great efforts to find Naruto. Naruto, I finally found you. You made it easy for me to find. Have you got the sealed book? Naruto didn't answer, just looked at Mizuki like a fool. Mizuki didn't notice Naruto's gaze at all. When he saw the huge scroll behind Naruto, his eyes lit up immediately, and he quickly smiled with satisfaction. Haha, I knew you would get it. Hurry up, give it to me, give it to me. You will definitely pass the exam tomorrow. I guarantee you will pass. Naruto looked at Mizuki strangely and asked, You really think it's a sealed book? Mizuki was taken aback, a little confused, and asked, What's the meaning? Naruto didn't answer. Mizuki frowned and didn't understand what Naruto meant at all, thinking that Naruto had read the content inside, but he didn't understand it, which was different from what he told Naruto. So Naruto said that. But he doesn't have time to waste here. In his imagination, the sealed book disappeared, and Konoha's people would definitely hunt it down if they were found. Then his plan and purpose will be in vain. So Mizuki said impatiently, Forget it, Naruto. You hand over the sealed book to me. You don't need to worry about the rest. As long as you hand it over to me, you will graduate. From now on, you are a qualified Konoha shinobi practitioner. Naruto smiled and simply handed the sealed book to Mizuki. In this way, Mizuki also knew that he was just a clown. Then, Mizuki was taken aback. Naruto handed him the sealed book so simply, which surprised him a bit. After all, anyone who gets the Book of Seals wants to delve into the forbidden technique inside. For ninjas, it is a treasure. But even so, Mizuki caught it quickly. Seeing Naruto's half-smile look, Mizuki frowned and hastily opened the sealed book. Seeing that everything behind was blank except for the multiple shadow clones, Mizuki also realized that he had been tricked. A black line appeared on his forehead instantly, and his face was covered with anger. Mizuki threw away the fake sealed book and roared angrily, "B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Hand over the real sealed book. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Mizuki finally couldn't bear it any longer and showed his true colors. Moreover, he also thought that Naruto was playing tricks on him by hiding the real sealed book. Hearing Mizuki's words, Naruto shook his head helplessly, looked at the throne scroll, and said pitifully, "The sealed book is right there. That's the sealed book you asked me to get." Mizuki didn't believe Naruto's nonsense at all, and then roared, "Impossible! Brat, how dare you steal the sealed book? I understand. You want to secretly learn the forbidden technique in the Book of Seals by yourself, so that you can take revenge on Konoha. Sure enough, the people in the village are right. You are a monster. Demon Fox." Seeing Naruto's expression getting more and more indifferent, Mizuki felt as if he had guessed it right and laughed wildly. However, the next moment, his laughter stopped abruptly. Even on the insolent face, the pupils showed unbelievable fear. All I saw was that at the moment Mizuki's words fell, Naruto's figure disappeared instantly, like a ghost, flashing in front of Mizuki with lightning speed. Then, Naruto raised his hand, grabbed Mizuki's neck, and looked at Mizuki with a cold expression. It's like looking at a dead person. Mizuki didn't even have a chance to react, and he didn't even see Naruto's movement clearly, so Naruto grabbed his neck and couldn't move. He stared in horror at this unexpected scene. Immediately afterwards, Naruto's extremely indifferent voice came out without a trace of emotion. "Yahoo, is it also your name?" Chapter 5. The First Shot. Mizuki was a little overwhelmed by the cold voice talking. He never dreamed that this would happen. Unexpected scene. The speed Naruto showed just now almost exceeded his cognition. He, who was so dignified as Chunin, couldn't see Naruto's movements clearly, and he didn't even have a chance to fight back. In particular, after being strangled by Naruto, he couldn't move and couldn't resist at all. This is a force beyond what he can contend with. It can only be caught by an eagle like Naruto catching a chick. Thinking of this, panic flashed across Mizuki's face. Looking at Naruto, who was looking at him indifferently, as if seeing Shinigami, he felt terrified. This is really the tale of the crane in the ninja school. Is it really a wastewood that I observe day and night, and can't even learn the clone technique? Naruto in front of him made Mizuki feel strange and scared. "You? Who are you? How can you have such great power?" Mizuki suppressed the panic in his heart. "It's really stupid to be fooled without knowing it." Naruto sneered. "What do you mean?" Mizuki was stunned and asked in horror. Naruto couldn't help but looked at Mizuki amusedly, pointed to the sealed book on the ground, and said, "Do you really think that you alone can know where the hidden treasure of the sealed book is?" Mizuki was stunned for a moment, then understood immediately. His body shook, showing an unbelievable face, and said, "You said that the sealed book you got is a fake?" "Humph." Naruto snorted coldly, without answering. It seems that Mizuki is not too stupid. Mizuki understood. He was being tricked. From the start, Third Hokage knew his purpose. From the very beginning, he was used by Third Hokage, using him to tell Naruto about the sealed book. Not only that, but he was also used by Naruto. Poor him, he thought he was the winner. As everyone knows, he is played around like a clown. How is this possible? I managed to overhear the location of the sealed book. How could it be a fake? Mizuki shouted in disbelief. Naruto didn't explain much to him, and didn't even bother to talk nonsense with him. Mizuki also seemed to be aware of Naruto's murderous intentions, and shook his head in fright and struggled, begging for mercy. "Let me go. I don't know anything. I don't know anything." Naruto narrowed his eyes and said, "I hate people calling me Demon Fox the most in my life." No. Before Mizuki's terrified words were finished, Naruto's palm snapped Mizuki's neck. Mizuki died immediately. When he died, Mizuki still had a terrified and unbelievable expression on his face, as if he couldn't believe it at all. He thought that a good-for-nothing who was slaughtered by others had dominated his life in the end. After killing Mizuki, Before 3rd Hokage's crystal ball observed this place, Naruto carried the sealed book on his back, and after making sure that there was no one around, he left immediately and waited for Irika to find him in another place. Naruto didn't worry about any trouble after he killed Mizuki. No one would find out, and no one would suspect him. After all, he is just a crane tail in the eyes of outsiders. How could he be Chunin Mizuki's opponent? Moreover, 3rd Hokage and the others also knew who Mizuki was colluding with, and what Mizuki took was a fake sealed book. After a while, Irika found Naruto. After finding Naruto, he couldn't help scolding him. But after Naruto told him that Mizuki asked him to do this, Irika suddenly realized and understood. After taking back the sealed book and sending Naruto home, Irika struggled to find Mizuki's body. However, seeing the terrified expression on Mizuki's face, as if seeing something terrible, Irika was also stunned for a while. He couldn't help thinking in surprise. What did Mizuki see? Back home, Naruto rested quickly and prepared for tomorrow's exam. The next day, there are huge crowds of people at the gate of the ninja school, and each candidate is basically accompanied by his parents. After all, the graduation exam is related to their children's life and their future. Some parents hope that their children will become dragons and phoenixes, while others worry that they will not pass the exam. But these have nothing to do with Naruto. The thin figure seemed a bit out of place with this lively scene. Naruto walked through the crowd and walked into the classroom. After entering the classroom, most of the students had already entered, anxiously waiting for the next graduation assessment. Soon, Irika walked in. The original proctors were Irika and Mizuki, but now that Mizuki is dead, they have to change teachers. Irika glanced at Naruto worriedly, and he took good care of Naruto on weekdays. But he didn't think that with Naruto's usual performance, he could pass this exam. The graduation exam begins now. All candidates are not allowed to leave the classroom. The classroom fell silent for a moment. First, Irika rolls the roll one by one. Some pass and some fail. Soon, Uchiha Sasuke was ordered. As soon as they heard that Sasuke was going to appear on the stage, fans of the nympho younger sister burst into cheers. Sasuke, come on. Sasuke, you can definitely do it. All the students also looked at Sasuke expectantly, wanting to see the performance of this Uchiha genius. Sasuke snorted triumphantly, stepped forward, made a seal, and with a bang, 3 avatars appeared in the classroom. The avatars were exactly the same as Sasuke, almost indistinguishable in appearance. Yay! I knew Sasuke would do it. The best. Accompanied by the cheers of the nympho sister fans, Irika nodded in satisfaction, and after ticking the paper, shouted loudly, Uchiha Sasuke, pass. Yeah. There was another wave of fans cheering. Sasuke proudly took back the avatar, and was inevitably jealous during the period, and was very unhappy to say what was so great. But Sasuke didn't seem to hear it. Just when Sasuke was about to return to his seat, a voice muttering to himself suddenly sounded. There are only 3. When the voice fell, the entire classroom fell silent, and everyone's eyes turned to the owner of the voice, including Sasuke. And the owner of the voice is Naruto. After Naruto received everyone's attention, he was stunned for a moment, and then realized that he lost his voice and set his heart. Chapter 6. Originally, I just wanted to observe Sasuke's strength and see how far he was from himself, but I didn't expect that I accidentally set it out. Now it's all right. All the fans are staring at Naruto covetously, wishing to eat Naruto. Sasuke also has a dark face, very upset. Those who were originally upset with Sasuke looked at Naruto mockingly as if they were watching a joke. It would be fine if someone else said this, but if it was said by someone who in their eyes is the tail of the crane, it would arouse public outrage. After all, what Naruto said seemed to look down on the 3 clones, but in their eyes, Sasuke was the best in the class if he could separate out 3. The bottom one in the class actually looks down on geniuses. Naruto, what face do you have to say Sasuke? You can't even tell one apart. That's right. At the end of the crane, you can't even compare to a tenth of Sasuke. Ha ha ha. Sasuke also snorted coldly with a black face because he was dropped by the bottom of the class. Quiet, quiet. Irika patted the table with a headache, but it couldn't stop those fangirls' cannibalistic eyes in the slightest. Immediately, Irika shook his head helplessly, sighed, and called out the name of the next candidate. Next, Uzumaki Naruto. The audience cheered. However, this was not anticipation like Sasuke just now, but waiting to see a joke. All eyes were on Naruto, and they all wanted to see how many of the crane tail, who didn't pay attention to the 3 clones just now, could be separated. Of course, in their minds, Naruto's appearance was just a joke, just for fun. He absolutely couldn't tell the difference. Everyone can't wait to see Naruto make a fool of himself. They laughed one by one. Do you think he can pick one out? I bet he can't tell half of them. Ha ha ha. Let's see how many of you who look down on Sasuke can get out. In this way, under all the malicious eyes, Naruto stepped onto the podium helplessly. Iruka looked at Naruto. His eyes were also full of worry. He wanted Naruto to make miracles, but he didn't want Naruto to become a ninja. In this complicated mood, Iruka said, "Let's start." Naruto nodded, looking at those people who were waiting to see his jokes. His heart suddenly moved. He smiled and closed his seal. Bang! I only saw that after Naruto formed a seal, a huge chakra emerged. The sound of bang 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 in the whole classroom was like setting off firecrackers, and it sounded one after another. Naruto's shadow clone also spread all over the audience in an instant, filling the whole classroom. Not only that, but many shadow clones even lined up in the hallway. Countless shadow clones suddenly appeared, exactly the same as Naruto, even more real than Sasuke's just now. Seeing this scene, everyone was dumbfounded. The eye sockets are all wide open, including Iruka. Those who originally wanted to see Naruto's jokes were even more exciting, as if they had seen a ghost. How is this possible? Many people exclaimed, looking at Naruto with a calm face in disbelief. Is this the tail of the crane that they have always looked down upon, thinking that it is the bottom of the class and impossible to pass the examination? The genius Uchiha Sasuke, known as the #1 in the class, has 3, while Uzumaki Naruto, the tail of the crane, has hundreds, even thousands. This is completely beyond their imagination. If this is the tail of the crane, who are the rest? What kind of genius is Sasuke? All of a sudden, the audience exclaimed. The younger sister fans who were unfair to Sasuke just now were also full of splendor, covering their mouths and watching Naruto in disbelief. Seeing everyone's wonderful expressions, Naruto smiled slightly and said to Iruka, "Ms. Iruka, did I pass?" Only then did Iruka recover from the astonishment, nodded repeatedly, and said hastily, "Pass, pass, Naruto, quickly accept your avatar." Naruto nodded and withdrew chakra, and all clones disappeared in an instant. It was only then that the crowd came to their senses and exclaimed, Is this really the tail of the crane? I am not wrong, right? How many avatars were there just now? This is even more powerful than the Jonin I saw." Surprised and strangely colorful eyes stared at Naruto, and some people noticed that Sasuke's face became even uglier at this time. Naruto smiled, ignoring the gazes around him, and returned to his seat to sit down. The reason why I cast Shadow Clone this time is also because of last night. Shadow Clone was given to him deliberately by 3rd Hokage last night, in order for him to learn it. Now that he is displaying it now, it also meets 3rd Hokage's expectations, and it happens to be perfect without arousing suspicion. And then, after Iruka glanced at Naruto with admiration, the exam continued as usual. Next, accompanied by Iruka's roll call one by one, soon, all the candidates finished the exam. Those who passed stayed in the classroom until the invigilator divided them into groups, while those who failed, Iruka took them all out. While going out, Iruka also called out to Naruto, "Naruto, come out with me." Chapter 7. Coming outside the classroom, Iruka first looked at Naruto with relief, smiled, and then said seriously, "Naruto, what happened to the clone just now?" Naruto had long thought that Iruka would ask himself. After all, 3rd Hokage didn't tell him everything. So, Naruto replied, "Ah, the shadow clone just now. I learned it from the sealed book." "What? Shadow clone?" Hearing Naruto's explanation, Iruka was even more startled. He originally thought it was just an ordinary clone, but unexpectedly, it was the forbidden technique, shadow clone of the Book of Seals. Although he can do shadow clone, it requires a huge chakra to cast it, and even he can't maintain a few. But just now, Naruto split out hundreds or thousands of them at once. If you don't ask, then do it. But Iruka was shocked by the question. Soon, Iruka noticed something that shocked him even more. All I saw was that Iruka opened his eyes wide, as if thinking of something unbelievable, looked at Naruto in astonishment, and said hastily, "Wait, you said you learned Shadow Clone from the sealed book last night?" Naruto shook his head and said innocently, "Yeah, it didn't work in one night. I learned it right then. It seems to suit me quite well." As soon as the words came out, Iruka immediately looked at Naruto as if he was looking at a monster. A forbidden technique that even Chunin was unable to master, but Naruto learned it in less than an hour. Is this really the tale of the ninja school? Iruka took a few deep breaths, trying to calm down his shock. Seeing Irika's unbelievable look, Naruto couldn't help but smile. Irika never dreamed of it. In fact, Naruto learned Shadow Clone as early as 7 years ago, and it was just a small test. If Irika knew about it, I'm afraid the expression would be 10,000 times more exciting than it is now. It was not easy to calm down. Irika exhaled and said, "Okay, Naruto, I see. You go back. I'll go and divide you into groups soon, and you have to work hard in the future." Naruto responded, turned, and walked into the classroom. Entering the classroom this time is completely different from usual. In the past, when he came to school, no one noticed him at all. However, this time, Naruto was like a star. As soon as he entered the classroom, he attracted everyone's attention, and everyone's eyes were focused on him. The classroom was silent for a moment. Everyone looked at Naruto carefully as if they had discovered a treasure, trying to dig out the secret of the treasure. Some people want to go up to talk to Naruto, but they just have this idea, but they don't know how to speak, which is a bit embarrassing. It's no wonder that Naruto, who has been regarded as the tail of the crane all the year round, almost no one wants to approach him. Even some people often take pleasure in laughing at Naruto. And now, Naruto's spectacular move just now convinced everyone and made them amazed. When they reacted and noticed the differences leaking everywhere at the end of the crane, it was too late to get closer. Only now did they realize that there was already a membrane between them and Naruto, and they couldn't get close. Naruto saw that they were uncharacteristically, and knew why. He simply ignored them, and walked straight back to his place. For a moment, the atmosphere was extremely awkward. But soon, some people began to discuss in a low voice, and the direction of the discussion was all related to Naruto. "This year's genius. I'm afraid it will change hands." "I don't think so. A clone technique can't prove anything. Sasuke is a veritable genius. All abilities are outstanding." "TSK, a clone technique? I'll take a look at one of your clones, let alone hundreds of them. I think you struggled to divide them into two just now." After everyone whispered for a while, Irika came back with third Hokage's order. After returning, Irika didn't say much, and started dividing classes directly. As Naruto thought, he was divided with Sasuke and small Sakura to form the 7th class. When Sasuke heard that he was in the same position as Naruto, who just slapped him in the face, his face was gloomy and frightening, as if he wanted to find a place to sneak in. It seems that he, who was used to the halo of genius, was suddenly surpassed by others, which made him feel bitter. Little Sakura didn't need it. On the surface, she said it would be a hindrance, but she was actually ecstatic in her heart. After dividing the classes, Irika finally said, "Okay, I've finished assigning you all. This class is assigned according to your daily comprehensive grades. Next, Jonin, the instructor of each class, will come to pick you up. You are waiting here patiently. Naruto, come with me one more time." After speaking, Irika took Naruto out, leaving everyone in the classroom nervous, anxious, and impatient. After going out, Naruto thought that Irika was looking for him, but unexpectedly, Irika brought him to the front of the Hokage building. Naruto was stunned for a moment, and immediately realized that it was not Irika who was looking for him, but third Hokage. Squinting his eyes slightly, what should come will come sooner or later. At this time, Irika patted Naruto's shoulder and said, "Go in, Naruto, third Hokage needs you." Chapter 8. Intrigue. What should come will come sooner or later. Naruto had expected that third Hokage would find him, but he didn't expect it to be so soon. Exhaling, nodding his head, Naruto walked in. After seeing Naruto walk in, Irika turned around and was about to leave, returning to the ninja school. Apparently, third Hokage had already told him to only meet Naruto alone. Entering Hokage's office, Naruto quickly saw third Hokage, who was processing the documents, and shouted, "Grandpa Hokage, I'm coming in." Hearing Naruto's voice, third Hokage put down the document in his hand, raised his head, narrowed his eyes, and soon showed a kind smile. "Naruto, you are here. I heard that you have passed the graduation examination. I am so happy for the old man." Naruto nodded with a smile on his face, pretending to be very happy. The two chatted briefly for a while, and soon, third Hokage went straight to the point, saying, "Naruto, I've come to you this time because I want to ask you a few things. I heard from Irika that Mizuki told you about the sealed book. Did you see Mizuki last night?" While speaking, third Hokage observed Naruto's expression. Sure enough, as Naruto expected, third Hokage called himself here because of the matter of the sealed book last night. Mizuki is dead in the forest behind Konoha. Although third Hokage didn't say it, how could Naruto not know? A Chunin died in a strange way, and Konoha couldn't find the murderer, which is no small matter. So, third Hokage approached Naruto, tested him, and wanted to set the tone. But Naruto was already prepared, pretending to be confused, and said, "No, Grandpa Hokage. Mizuki-sensei asked me to get the sealed book and wait for him, but I waited in the forest for a long time but didn't see him, and finally Iruka-sensei found me." Naruto's statement is basically exactly the same as Iruka's report to third Hokage. Naruto insisted that he didn't see Mizuki last night, so no one would suspect Naruto. After all, Mizuki is a chunin. Before getting the shadow technique, Naruto was still a good-for-nothing who couldn't understand the clone technique in their eyes, so how could he kill Mizuki quietly? It is impossible for anyone to think about it. Third Hokage stared at Naruto for a while with eagle-like exquisite eyes. No matter how he looked, he couldn't see the slightest flaw. Soon, third Hokage withdrew his gaze, and his kind and amiable smile appeared again, saying, "That's it, I see. It's okay, Naruto. You can go back. Your instructor will pick you up later. He is an outstanding elite jonin in the village. You have to study hard with him. By the way, don't tell outsiders about the sealed book. It's a secret in the village." Naruto nodded. "Understood, Grandpa Hokage. Then I'm leaving." After speaking, Naruto turned and left. The moment Naruto left, at some point, there was a figure in the corner of the office. That figure was Danzo. After Danzo appeared, he watched Naruto leave and said indifferently, "Sarutobi, what do you think?" Third Hokage narrowed his eyes and said, "I think this matter may have something to do with Orochimaru." "Danzo, you don't have much to do with Orochimaru these days." Danzo frowned. "You think Orochimaru did it? Otherwise? Do you think I don't know that Mizuki wanted to take the sealed book and seek refuge with Orochimaru?" Mizuki's body didn't show any signs of fighting, which means that he couldn't resist even if he wanted to, so he was easily killed. Konoha, there are very few people who can do this. At this moment, third Hokage changed from normal. His originally kind expression was replaced by the indifference and majesty of the superior, and he reprimanded Danzo unceremoniously. Danzo frowned and didn't argue with third Hokage anymore. After all, he thought about the same thing as third Hokage. It seems that third Hokage already thought that the murderer was Orochimaru, and they also thought that Mizuki was killed because he got a fake sealed book, which was worthless. Go back to the ninja school classroom. Most of the candidates have already been rhythmized by their guide jonin, leaving only Sasuke and little Sakura. When Sasuke and little Sakura saw Naruto come back, unexpectedly they were very quiet, not in a hurry. When little Sakura saw Naruto coming back, she smiled and said, "Naruto, you're back. Our guide jonin hasn't arrived yet." Naruto nodded. Seeing that Naruto didn't say a word to herself, little Sakura was a little embarrassed. But she wasn't angry, she was just about to say something. Suddenly, the wooden door of the classroom was opened again. A man with a forehead protector on his head, and the forehead protector covering his left eye walked in. The man squinted his eyes with a look on his face, and smiled at Naruto and the others. This man is Naruto and their guide jonin, the well-known copy ninja in the village, Hatake Kakashi. I thought it would take a while for Hatake Kakashi to come, but I didn't expect that just as Naruto arrived on the front foot, Kakashi also came on the back foot, just as agreed. "Yeah, I kept you waiting. I am your guide jonin, Hatake Kakashi." Chapter 9. I am your guide jonin, Hatake Kakashi. Kakashi was all smiles and seemed very approachable. But neither Sakura Jr. nor Sasuke is fooled by Kakashi's appearance. They knew that the person in front of them was jonin. How could jonin be such a simple character? In particular, the other party is their guide jonin, which is related to the future of their ninja life. So the two couldn't help but become more nervous, carefully looking at Kakashi's appearance. Seeing the three students staring at him with big eyes and small eyes, but they didn't reply, Kakashi couldn't help scratching his head in embarrassment and said, "Since you don't know me yet, let me introduce myself first." Saying so, Kakashi introduced himself from beginning to end, and then asked Naruto and the others to introduce themselves. The so-called self-introduction is to simply tell others your name, interests, hobbies, and future plans. Naruto had nothing to say, so he just said his name. But Sasuke said very fiercely that he has a huge ambition and wants to restore the glory of the Uchiha clan. Little Sakura's introduction is as simple as an ordinary girl. After listening to the introduction of the three, Kakashi nodded, glanced at Sasuke for a while, and then set his sights on Naruto, narrowing his eyes slightly, not knowing what he was thinking. Soon, Kakashi broke the silence, saying, "Since everyone has introduced themselves, I have nothing to say next. First of all, I want to tell you that you are not ninjas yet. As soon as Kakashi said this, it immediately aroused violent reactions from Sasuke and little Sakura. Both of them opened their eyes wide. As if they didn't believe what Kakashi said, they were very anxious. Kakashi said lightly, "Don't look at me like that. If you want to become a ninja, you have to pass the survival exercise in my hands. Only those who pass the survival exercise are eligible to become a ninja. But haven't we already passed the exam? Why do we need to take the exam?" Little Sakura complained. "Don't ask so much here. I am the rule." "Okay, let's not talk much, then you can move freely. The survival exercise starts at 1 p.m. and gather at the third exercise field before 1 p.m. Remember, don't eat lunch." After finishing speaking, Kakashi didn't hesitate and disappeared in a blink of an eye. Hearing that there was still an exam, the little Sakura asked the two of them in a panic, "Naruto, Sasuke, what should I do? Why is there still an exam? I finally passed the graduation exam." The anxious little Sakura's eyes even missed. Sasuke on the side saw it and said mercilessly. He said, "Here, he is the rule." After speaking, Sasuke stood up and was about to leave. The little Sakura was stunned for a moment. Seeing that Sasuke was about to leave, she quickly asked, "Sasuke, where are you going?" "Go buy ninja gear and prepare for the survival exercise in the afternoon." At this time, Naruto is also preparing to leave. Sensing Naruto's movement, little Sakura couldn't help turning her head to look, and said with a wince, "Naruto, what about you?" At this time, Sasuke also looked over, and seemed to want to know what Naruto was going to do. Sensing the eyes of the two, Naruto couldn't help but shrugged and said with a faint smile, "Go to eat." As soon as the voice fell, Sasuke and little Sakura immediately opened their eyes wide and looked at Naruto dully with astonishment on their faces. As if suspecting that she had heard it wrong, little Sakura said in surprise, But didn't Mr. Kakashi say, 'Don't eat'?" Hearing little Sakura's words, Naruto couldn't help but give little Sakura a blank look and said speechlessly, "He told you not to eat and you wouldn't eat?" Sasuke said, "His words are the rules." Naruto nodded in agreement, however. What he said next was completely opposite to his actions, which left them stunned. "Well, Sasuke's right. But he's him, I'm me, and I'm good at breaking the rules." After finishing speaking, Naruto didn't say anything more, turned around and walked out. Seeing Naruto's back, little Sakura's eyes flashed brightly, while Sasuke gritted his teeth, looking very unconvinced, and followed him out. After Naruto left the classroom, just as he said, he came to the ramen restaurant for dinner. Vaguely, he felt eyes watching him. It must be Hatake Kakashi. But Naruto didn't change his behavior to eat ramen either. However, what Naruto didn't expect was that not long after he arrived at the ramen restaurant, Sasuke and little Sakura actually followed him and ordered a ramen like Naruto. It seems that what Naruto said just now changed their minds. Time passed quickly. After eating and drinking, Naruto and the others also came to the third practice field. On the empty third practice field, a silver-haired man stood. That man was none other than Hatake Kakashi. Unexpectedly, Hatake Kakashi, who has always been known for being late, actually waited here early this time. The wind and sand filled the air, and the breeze blew everyone's heartstrings, as if foreshadowing the impending unrest in the practice field. Chapter 10. Seeing that Kakashi was waiting for them at the training ground, the three of them also ran over quickly. Kakashi squinted his eyes like a sly fox, examining everyone. He didn't mention Naruto and the others eating, but said directly, "Very well. It seems that you are all punctual. The most important thing for a ninja is punctuality." Hearing Kakashi's satisfied compliment, little Sakura couldn't help but nodded happily. And Naruto looked at Kakashi quite speechlessly. Kakashi, who was often late, would say such words. "You are all ready." Kakashi didn't waste time, and after everyone nodded, he said the content of the exercise. Only to see, Kakashi took off the two bells around his waist, put them in his hands for the three to watch, and then said, "The content of the exercise is very simple. As long as you grab the bell in my hand before the sun goes down, you will pass." Looking at the bell in Kakashi's hand, little Sakura was a little confused and asked suspiciously, "But there are three of us and Bell only has two." Hearing little Sakura bring it up, Kakashi smiled slyly and said, "That's right. There are only two bells. So, that is to say, at most two people will pass the exercise and become ninjas. The other person is not qualified." "What happens to unqualified people?" little Sakura asked cautiously. Kakashi narrowed his eyes and quickly replied, Those who are not qualified will be sent back to the ninja school to study again, or they will be deprived of their qualifications to become ninjas. As soon as Kakashi's words came out, little Sakura's delicate body trembled, as if she had already thought of who the unqualified person would be. However, Kakashi didn't worry about little Sakura's mood at all, grabbed the bell and said, "Okay, the exercise is starting now. Next, no matter what method you use all your strengths and try your best to grab the bell in my hand. Those who snatch it will be deemed to have passed the exercise. Exercise, start." After the words fell, the three immediately started to act. Little Sakura and Sasuke both ran into the nearby woods, ready to lurk and observe first, ready to look for opportunities to make a move at any time. Seeing the actions of the two, Kakashi nodded with satisfaction and said silently in his heart, "It seems that these two little guys have learned well in the ninja school. One of the common sense of ninja fighting is to hide your body, observe secretly, look for opportunities, and wait for opportunities shot." Just when Kakashi was very satisfied with Sasuke and little Sakura's reaction, at the very beginning of this tense drill, Kakashi suddenly found that there was a person standing in front of him. That person is none other than Naruto. Naruto didn't respond at the moment, looking at himself indifferently. Kakashi froze for a moment, staring at Naruto dumbfounded. What is this doing? Everyone else is hiding. Why is Naruto still here? Kakashi narrowed his eyes and couldn't help but look at Naruto. It seemed that Naruto had no intention of hiding. "Naruto, what are you doing here?" "Grab the bell," Naruto said with an undisguised smile. Kakashi froze for a moment and looked at Naruto in surprise, as if he couldn't believe what Naruto said. Is there really a genin who dares to confront Jonin head-on? Just grab it like this? Kakashi asked suspiciously. "That's right." Naruto nodded with a smile. "Then I'll see how genin, who likes to break the rules, can snatch the bell from me." Kakashi narrowed his eyes. Sure enough, Kakashi has been watching Naruto and their every move. Kakashi knew what Naruto and the others had done, including lunch, but Kakashi didn't say anything. Naruto smiled, not waiting for Kakashi to speak again. Suddenly, Naruto's feet were strong, and his body rushed out like a flame. He rushed in front of Kakashi with a lunge, and reached out to reach the bell on Kakashi's waist. One of the most important basic fighting qualities of a ninja is to be surprised. Kakashi looked panicked and completely unexpected. However, this is all an illusion. Just when Naruto's hand was about to touch the bell, there was a bang. Kakashi in front of him suddenly turned into smoke. Shadow clone. This is fake. Immediately afterwards, a sly voice sounded from behind Naruto. "It's a good idea. It's unexpected. It's really possible to get caught by someone else. However, Jonin is not so easy to deal with." Kakashi praised and taught Naruto behind Naruto's back. However, just when Kakashi finished speaking, he thought he was in control. I only saw Naruto's mouth slightly raised and smiled lightly. Yeah. Seeing the curvature of Naruto's mouth, Kakashi instantly sensed something was wrong. Before he could react, there was another bang. Naruto in front of him suddenly disappeared like Kakashi just now and turned into a puff of white smoke. Kakashi froze for a moment, opened his eyes wide, slightly startled. This Naruto is also a shadow clone. How can this be? Kakashi thought that he had already secured the victory and had the upper hand. Unexpectedly, Naruto seemed to have expected it a long time ago. At this moment, a black shadow flashed past. Kakashi was startled, and the advanced ninjutsu body flicker technique was activated immediately. A flicker flashed tens of meters away at an extremely fast speed, and looked at Naruto not far away in horror. That shadow, it is Naruto, is only 1 second away from getting Kakashi's bell. Naruto didn't get discouraged when he failed the blow, but looked at Kakashi with admiration. As expected of Hatake Kakashi, a famous figure in the Three Wars. With his rich combat experience and excellent reaction speed, he managed to defuse this well-arranged series of rounds to the limit. However, Naruto did not expect that at this moment, Kakashi's heart was throbbing. He never expected that he was an elite Jonin, and he was in a state of defense, but he was almost succeeded by a genin. Mainly, he never expected that the Naruto just now was shadow clone. I didn't see the Naruto seal at all. Obviously, this shadow clone was arranged a long time ago. A genin actually has such an amazing plan. If it weren't for his years of fighting intuition, the victory might have been decided just now. Thinking of this, Kakashi couldn't help breaking out in some cold sweat and looked at Naruto not far away in amazement. Chapter 11. Confiscation. Is this really a crane tail? Such an amazing battle plan, Even a jonin can't compare to it. Even he, Hatake Kakashi, was led by Naruto step by step and almost fell into a trap. Little Sakura and Sasuke, who were watching the battle in the woods, opened their mouths in astonishment at this moment, their faces full of disbelief. They just saw that Naruto almost got the bell, and even put his hand on the bell. Had it not been for Kakashi's final outburst of the body flicker technique, I'm afraid the survival exercise would be over by now. It was the first time they had seen such a thrilling and touching scene. But at the scene, it was a confrontation between Jonin and elite Jonin. It's just unbelievable. Naruto took a small test of his skills, and after warming up, he exhaled, smiled again and looked at Kakashi, ready to make a move. If you let them know that Naruto didn't use all his strength just now, I'm afraid they will be shocked again. After Kakashi stabilized his figure, he squinted his eyes and looked at Naruto. His face was no longer as relaxed as before. He knew that if he continued to be in the idle state just now, he might really capsize in the gutter. If he is a jonin who easily takes advantage of genin, if it spreads, his peers will laugh at him. Soon, Kakashi calmed down, looked at Naruto with a smile, and praised, "I underestimated you. The plan just now was really good," which surprised me. However, jonin is not so easy to deal with. As your teacher, I should teach you how to become an excellent ninja. In order to regain the field, Kakashi said like a lesson. Naruto smiled, and before he could speak, Kakashi suddenly dashed forward, extremely fast. Like lightning. One of the basic ninja fighting methods, taijutsu. Kakashi rushed up and punched Naruto mercilessly. The violent fist brought a howling wind and hit it head-on. Naruto took a deep breath. Seeing that the fist was coming, he didn't dodge it, as if he wanted to resist elite Jonin's punch. It's just a good time to practice the skills of Shinigami and the ability of white hits, Naruto said silently in his heart. White hits are fighting skills. In other words, gymnastics, the means of physical combat. Therefore, facing Kakashi's punch, Naruto opened his eyes wide, carefully watching Kakashi's attack trajectory. Immediately, with a movement of the body, he turned sideways to avoid Kakashi's fist. What followed was an uppercut counterattack. Kakashi was slightly surprised to see Naruto dodge the attack. Although he didn't use all his strength, he knew that an attack of this speed was not something a genin could dodge. However, Kakashi reacted quickly, and after parrying Naruto's fist, he launched a series of attacks towards Naruto again. Countless punches and kicks rushed in like a tsunami. However, what they faced was Naruto's exquisite dodges again and again, and some of them couldn't dodge, so Naruto collided with fists, head-on. The sound of B************ G fists and flashing legs was muffled like metal clashing, full of rhythm. The fight between the two was in dire straits and could not be connected. Like two well-matched taijutsu ninjas meeting each other, they fought very fiercely with each other. Sasuke in the forest gritted his teeth unwillingly after seeing it. It's hard to imagine that the characters at the bottom of the crane in the school are now fighting with Jonin inseparably, as if they stole his limelight. Immediately, Sasuke couldn't help the impulse in his heart, rushed out with a stride, and threw 3 shurikens at Kakashi and Naruto. The 3 shuriken attacks were indiscriminate. Some were aimed at Kakashi, and one was aimed at Naruto, as if to tell them, "Stop fighting, let me do it." Kakashi and Naruto, who were fighting, quickly noticed the shuriken being shot. After the two punched each other, they both stepped back, and the shuriken also pierced through the middle of the two. After the two stopped, Kakashi looked at Sasuke in confusion, not knowing what Sasuke was going to do. However, Sasuke didn't say a word, and with a little anger on his face, he rushed directly towards Kakashi. Seeing this, Kakashi rushed to fight. However, he had just finished fighting Naruto, and he hadn't recovered from the fighting state of fighting Naruto. He kicked out without stopping, and kicked directly on Sasuke's stomach. Sasuke couldn't hide even if he wanted to, and was kicked by Kakashi in an instant, and he rolled for a few meters before stopping. Damn. B*******************. Sasuke got up from the ground in embarrassment. The result of fighting Kakashi made him a little unacceptable. His face was full of anger and unwilling eyes. He growled a few times and looked at Kakashi viciously. Just now Kakashi and Naruto fought inseparably, and it looked like they couldn't win or lose. However, if it was him, he couldn't hold a single kick and was kicked directly. This made him the hope of the Uchiha clan who has always been hailed. How did the genius character of the ninja school accept it? Chapter 12. Ninja, just want a surprise. Seeing Sasuke, who was kicked a few meters away, Kakashi asked worriedly, "Are you okay?" However, Kakashi's worry is like an insult in Sasuke's eyes, making it difficult for him to accept. Why can't I fight Naruto even when I fight Naruto? Suddenly, Sasuke roared a few times. Damn it! After shouting, Sasuke hit Kakashi again. This time, Kakashi also adjusted his strength and happily dealt with Sasuke's attack. But obviously, playing against Sasuke looks much easier than playing against Naruto just now. Sasuke. After Sasuke appeared, little Sakura also stopped hiding and ran out of the forest. Little Sakura glanced at Naruto with brilliant eyes, and then looked at Sasuke and Kakashi who were fighting, as if they were also looking for an opportunity. Naruto was the same, waiting secretly, not paying any attention to Sasuke's impulsive performance. I saw that Sasuke sent a great fireball to force Kakashi back, and just as Kakashi had just landed, little Sakura quickly shot. He ran behind Kakashi, trying to take off the bell while Kakashi was unaware. However, Kakashi seemed to have expected it a long time ago. With a sly smile, he squatted with his backhand, and then grabbed the little Sakura, pressed the little Sakura to the ground with both hands, subdued the little Sakura's actions, and said with a smile, "That's so naive, little Sakura." At this moment, Sasuke also took advantage of Kakashi's subduing the little Sakura and rushed up quickly, and the palm went straight to Kakashi's bell. But it was not beyond Kakashi's control. Kakashi raised his foot and kicked Sasuke. The lightning speed made it too late for Sasuke to dodge. Sasuke was kicked by Kakashi again. After kicking Sasuke, Kakashi looked at the two with satisfaction and said like a teacher, "You two, the plan is good. One attracts my attention, and the other is responsible for grabbing the bell. Very well, ninjas just want to catch them by surprise. It's a pity that you have a good idea, but the operation is too simple and full of loopholes, and it is too easy to be caught. Cracked, Jonin is not so easy to deal with." When Kakashi was teaching little Sakura and Sasuke, suddenly, Kakashi's body shook suddenly, his pupils shrank, as if he had forgotten something. That's right, not just Sasuke and little Sakura, but Naruto too. I just saw that Naruto appeared behind Kakashi at some point, looking at Kakashi with a calm smile on his face. Kakashi turned around suddenly, his pupils widened in astonishment. However, before he could react, Naruto made a quick move and easily took down the two bells. Survival exercise, over. Naruto shook the two bells, looked at the surprised Kakashi, smiled and said, "You're right, Kakashi-sensei. A ninja is meant to catch people by surprise." The words he taught Sasuke and little Sakura just now were used by Naruto to teach him at this moment, and Kakashi's head was full of black lines when he heard it. It's no wonder that Kakashi will suffer. After all, the result of this survival exercise is beyond Kakashi's expectations. After finally frustrating the water chestnuts of the two little devils, he wanted to act like a teacher and teach them a lesson, but he didn't expect that Naruto would take advantage of him. Moreover, Naruto hit it so well, if he didn't react quickly, he wouldn't even notice that Naruto was going to get the bell. Little Sakura and Sasuke also got up from the ground, looking at the bell in Naruto's hand in surprise. Unexpectedly, their little trick ended up making a wedding dress for Naruto. Kakashi shook his head helplessly, looked at Naruto strangely, and thought in his heart, "Is this really the crane tale of ninja school? If this is the tale of the crane, what happened to the genius Uchiha who gritted his teeth and refused to admit defeat?" Kakashi exhaled, regained his smiling face, looked at Naruto with satisfaction, then nodded to the three and said, "Congratulations, you passed." As soon as Kakashi's words came out, Sakura and Sasuke, who were still depressed just now and thought they had been eliminated, were taken aback for a moment, then raised their heads and looked at Kakashi puzzled. What Kakashi just said was not about Naruto, but about you. Little Sakura even asked hastily, Mr. Kakashi, what's going on? Have we all passed?" Kakashi nodded with a smile. "That's right, the three of you are all qualified ninjas." Hearing Kakashi's words, although little Sakura was puzzled, she cheered happily. Sasuke frowned and asked, "Why?" Kakashi patiently explained the purpose of this survival exercise to them. It is said to be a survival exercise, and if you pass it, you can become a ninja. But in fact, this survival exercise is to test Naruto and their teamwork ability, making the three of them realize the importance of teamwork. And the last move just now was indeed done by three people, so Naruto succeeded, which is why Kakashi let them pass. So, Kakashi brainwashed and explained to Sasuke and the others that they failed to attack one by one just now, but the three of them succeeded together. This shows the importance of teamwork and so on. However, for Kakashi's explanation, Sasuke and little Sakura rolled their eyes. It seemed to be teamwork, but both Sasuke and little Sakura felt like they were being used by Naruto. After all, they don't know anything, and they fall into Naruto's scheme. In addition to letting everyone realize the importance of teamwork, there is another reason that Kakashi wants to use this survival exercise to have a deep understanding of the strength and comprehensive ability of the three, and to see the performance of the three. All three performed well, which made Kakashi quite satisfied, especially Naruto, which surprised Kakashi even more. Naruto's strategy is not only amazing, but also excellent in physical skills, which really surprised Kakashi. Saying that, Kakashi couldn't help but look at Naruto a few more times. Chapter 13. Sign in, 8 Inner Gates. After explaining, Kakashi smiled and said to Sannin, "Congratulations, from now on, you are Konoha Genin." Both Sakura and Sasuke were excited when they heard Kakashi's words. Especially the little Sakura. The eyes are full of mist with joy. "You can move freely now. Gather at the Konoha gate at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and I will take you to pick up the entrusted task." After finishing speaking, Kakashi was about to leave. Before leaving, Kakashi suddenly thought of something, turned his head and said with a smile, "By the way, there will be a celebration banquet in the evening to celebrate the graduation of this class of Genin. All Genin who pass the assessment and their guide Jonin will participate, so you should go too. After all, you are the first batch to pass the exam under my hands." Genin. Little Sakura and Sasuke nodded. They were very happy at the moment, and they hadn't recovered from the excitement of passing the exercise. After Kakashi finished speaking, he left here with the instant technique. As soon as he left, little Sakura suddenly cheered as if releasing the pressure. "Yay, we passed the test. Naruto, Sasuke, we are Genin." Sasuke also showed a rare smile and let out a relaxed breath. "I'm going to go back and change clothes, and then go to the celebration banquet. Naruto, Sasuke, how about you?" Little Sakura asked, blinking her big eyes happily. "I'll go straight there," Sasuke said lightly. Naruto smiled and said, "Go first, I'll walk here." Sasuke and little Sakura looked at Naruto suspiciously, wondering what Naruto was going to do. The two didn't ask much, and after saying goodbye to each other, they left separately. After the two left, Naruto exhaled, closed his eyes, and reviewed the fight just now. In the fight with Kakashi just now, although neither of them did their best, Naruto could also find a lot. First of all, white hit skills, Shinigami fighting skills white hits, are indeed very subtle, which greatly strengthens Naruto's melee combat ability. But Naruto can still feel that there is obvious room for improvement. If it is used together with Sharingan in physical combat, its power will definitely be greatly enhanced. There is also the strength of Jonin. Through today's battle, Naruto has a preliminary understanding of Jonin's strength. It is also clearer to know what kind of enemy he can deal with now. After thinking about this, Naruto said silently in his mind, "System, sign in at the third practice field." Ding! The third practice field. The sign-in was successful. Ding! Get the reward Forbidden Technique 8 Inner Gates. Get 2.7% bonus experience. After the voice sounded, Naruto felt a rush of information pouring into his mind. This information is exactly the cultivation technique and method of 8 Inner Gates. Soon, Naruto digested the information and nodded. The reason why he stayed here was to review the battle just now, and the other was that he had just been prompted by the system, and the sign-in refresh location just happened to be refreshed here. He was also very satisfied with the rewards for signing in. 8 Inner Gates, known as the pinnacle of physical taboos, gain powerful power for a short time by untying the channel of the human body. When the 8 gates are fully opened, it is also called 8 Inner Gates formation, which can gain several times or even dozens of times the power of Kaga level in a short time. Moreover, the power of this forbidden technique depends on the caster itself. The stronger the caster, the more terrifying the forbidden technique's power. In contrast, the cost is also very high. With the blessing of 8 Inner Gates, coupled with the white hits fighting skills, Naruto's physical skills have once again been greatly improved. Byakuya Kuchiki's template has also been unlocked from 87% plus 2.7% to 89.7%. After Naruto digested the rewards, the sky gradually became dark and the moonlight shone on him at night. Naruto glanced at the darkening sky, digested all the rewards with satisfaction, and set off for the celebration banquet. On the other side, Hokage's office. After Kakashi left, he came directly to Hokage's office. Third Hokage nodded when he saw Kakashi coming and said, "Kakashi, how are you?" When Kakashi saw Third Hokage, he gave a respectful call and then began to report the situation. "Master Hokage, they passed the examination." Third Hokage nodded in relief and said, being able to pass the test under your hands. It seems that the three of them do have the talent to be ninjas. What about the other thing? As he spoke, third Hokage narrowed his eyes like a skilled and cunning fox. The reason why he asked Kakashi to come to him immediately after the exercise was for the next thing. After hearing third Hokage's words, Kakashi frowned slightly, thought for a while, and then began to say, Master Hokage, I don't think Naruto did it. If Mizuki was killed without any resistance, the murderer must be at least at the level of elite jonin. Uzumaki Naruto does not have this ability, so I judge not him. After Kakashi finished speaking, third Hokage nodded. It turned out that third Hokage approached Kakashi to ask Kakashi to test Naruto's situation. Unexpectedly, even a survival exercise, third Hokage would not let it go. It is indeed the scheming of those in power, as meticulous as an old fox, probing, intrigue, and deceit everywhere, everywhere. Chapter 14. Being followed. The reason why Kakashi said this was also based on the consideration of the survival exercise just now. Naruto's performance surprised Kakashi, but that kind of strength is far from being able to crush Chunin. Mizuki was killed without any resistance. It is at least the strength of elite jonin to be able to do this. Obviously, Kakashi thinks Naruto can't do it. However, they did not expect that Naruto did not use his full strength in this exercise. What Kakashi saw was only what Naruto wanted him to see. If you don't pay attention here, how can you hide it from these old foxes? After listening to Kakashi's words, third Hokage nodded. He also thought the same as Kakashi. Finally, third Hokage shifted the target of suspicion away from Naruto and said lightly, Okay, I see. You go down first? Kakashi nodded, turned, and walked out. After Kakashi left, third Hokage didn't think too much, exhaled, and continued to work deeply. The other side. It was late, the starry sky was bright at night, and the bright moonlight sprinkled on the dark streets. After signing in to the third practice field, Naruto soon came to the barbecue restaurant of the celebration banquet. Inside the barbecue shop, the people are busy, and all the genin who have passed the examination and their instructors have already arrived here, including Sasuke and little Sakura. At the moment they are happily celebrating their moment of becoming ninjas. Seeing Naruto coming, the enthusiastic little Sakura greeted him quickly. Naruto, Naruto, come here. Naruto heard little Sakura's voice, smiled, and walked over. Little Sakura is surrounded by the genin who graduated this year. Shikamaru, Ino, Hinata, and Choji are all there. And at the other table next to them, Kuroyuki, Asuma, and others Gai Jonin. And even Kakashi came earlier than Naruto. Seeing Naruto coming, Asuma and Yui Hong's eyes fell on Naruto immediately, and they stared at Naruto for a long time before turning their eyes away. Kakashi, this is the fourth generation? Asuma and Karini Yuhi asked Kakashi about Naruto. Their voices were so small that the genin couldn't hear them clearly in the crowded sea. But this voice could not be hidden from Naruto's ears. Naruto ignored these words and came to the side of little Sakura. As soon as he sat down, Ino suddenly stood up from his original seat, walked to Naruto, squeezed with Naruto, and said to Naruto with a very enthusiastic smile, You are a busy person, but you are here. I have been waiting for you for a long time. Naruto smiled awkwardly. Before he could speak, Ino said again, I heard from little Sakura that you didn't lose against your guide Jonin. It's amazing. We suffered so much under Jonin-sensei. How did you do it, Naruto? I only saw that Ino looked at Naruto adoringly. His eyes were shining, and his eyes were bent into the shape of stars, wanting to know Naruto's secret. Yes, Naruto, you have deceived us so badly. You are not well known at ordinary times. I didn't expect to hide it so deeply. Tell us, is there any secret? Yaya said. The crowd chattered around Naruto like a buzzing fly. Naruto shook his head with a headache. Seeing Naruto's headache, little Sakura hurriedly opened his mouth and said anxiously, You guys, what are you doing? Naruto asked people like this when he first came. I knew I wouldn't tell you. Ino stuck out his tongue, smiled mischievously, turned his head and said, Okay, let's not ask. Come on, let's have a toast and celebrate that we finally become ninjas. Come. The genin cheered happily, celebrating this moment of rebirth. The quiet Naruto seems out of tune with this bustling scene, but it doesn't affect others to bother him from time to time. The night passed quickly. The little powerhouses were also drunk. It is reasonable to say that they are not allowed to drink at this age, but today is the day to become genin. This is a moment related to the future of their lives. How can it stop them from wanting to be drunk? After eating, drinking, and celebrating, everyone was about to leave. The purpose of this gathering is also to let everyone know which companions have become ninjas, and there may be a time to perform tasks together in the future. Naruto also left early. He didn't like the occasion very much. Walking on the street at night, the dark street is only dotted with not very bright street lights. Naruto alone looks a little lonely on this dark road. As we walked, we felt the cool night breeze. Today, Konoha's main road is extremely quiet, and the silence is a little scary. Soon, when he was about to reach the door of the house, Naruto stopped suddenly, narrowed his eyes, and suddenly said to the deserted dark street, "Come out, you have been with me for so long." After the words sounded, no one responded, as if Naruto was the only one in this dark street. But Naruto clearly knew that someone was following him. Moreover, since he came out of the barbecue shop, he has been following him. Although this person is good at hiding, he cannot escape Naruto's perception. "Do you want me to find you?" Naruto frowned, and his words became cold. He knew that this person didn't have any kindness towards him, much less like the person Third Hokage sent to spy on him before. When Third Hokage sent Umbu to monitor him, Umbu just watched from a distance and didn't get close to him. On the contrary, this person really wanted to get closer to Naruto, as if he was preparing to attack Naruto at any time. Finally, the man seemed to know that he couldn't hide anymore, and he completely revealed his figure. All I saw was, in a dark corner, a black figure slowly came out. That black figure was wearing a black combat uniform, and there was a fox mask on his face to conceal his appearance. Chapter 15. Scatter, Senbonzakura, a familiar figure, a pitch-black battlesuit, and a fox mask. All the characteristics show that this is Umbu. Watching Umbu appear, Naruto narrowed his eyes. Umbu came to ask him what to do, and he followed him for so long, revealing his murderous intent everywhere. "Who are you?" Naruto asked lightly. After Umbu appeared, he stood in front of Naruto directly, held a kunai in his hand, did not hide his murderous aura at all, blocked Naruto's way forcefully, glanced at Naruto, and said indifferently, "Uzumaki Naruto, come with me." "Where are you going?" Umbu paused and immediately said, "Hokage building. Third Hokage wants to see you." Naruto narrowed his eyes and snorted coldly in his heart. He didn't believe the nonsense of Umbu in front of him at all. Although Third Hokage sent Umbu to monitor him in the past, he never let Umbu appear in front of him. In other words, Naruto in the eyes of Third Hokage doesn't even know that Umbu exists. How could it be possible to send Umbu to find him in the middle of the night? Umbu, who still obviously has no good intentions. Naruto cast a glance at the kunai in Umbu's hand. This Umbu was holding a kunai, full of murderous intent. His footsteps gradually approached Naruto, as if he was going to attack Naruto at any time. He didn't mean to make peace at all. Obviously, it was not a good thing. "What if I don't go?" Naruto said lightly, narrowing his eyes slightly. "I'm ordering you. I didn't ask what you mean. If you don't obey the order, I'll catch you." As expected, Umbu had no intention of reconciliation at all. After speaking, without waiting for Naruto's reaction, he raised kunai and rushed towards Naruto. Kunai aimed at Naruto's head, and it was a killer move. However, Naruto was already prepared. Facing Umbu's attack, Naruto snorted coldly, opened the third gate in front of the 8 inner gates, clenched his fist, and punched the attacking kunai. With the blessing of 8 inner gates, Naruto's strength and speed are doubled, smashing Umbu's kunai with one punch. The kunai was shattered, and the sudden situation made Umbu retreat quickly, took a breath, looked at the shattered kunai in his hand. Naruto punched him so powerfully that his hands were numb. Immediately, Umbu looked at Naruto in surprise, and asked indifferently, 8 inner gates? Some eyesight. Naruto replied indifferently. You dare to attack Umbu just after opening the third gate. You're looking for death. Umbu glanced at Naruto of chakra who was steaming all over his body, shouted angrily, and pulled out the short sword from his back. The short sword is instantly covered with Umbu's wind attribute chakra, which turns into a sharp blade and cuts towards Naruto with a howling whirlwind. This Umbu didn't intend to hold back at all. Every move contained murderous intent, as if directly taking Naruto's life. Naruto frowned when he saw it. He knew that it seemed that he couldn't hide his strength this time. This is not a survival exercise, it is a real fight, a battle between ninjas. Umbu in front of him is really going to fight Naruto to the death. If you don't pay attention, you will lose your life. Moreover, Naruto had a premonition that if he followed Umbu, he would die without a burial place, and what hell awaits him. So, Naruto took a deep breath, turned his palms over, and pulled out the Zanpakuto. Senbonzakura burst out and appeared in Naruto's palm. Naruto gripped Senbonzakura tightly and slashed at the oncoming wind blade. Bang! The two blades collided together to produce a metallic, crisp sound. Umbu was slightly startled when he saw Senbonzakura suddenly appeared in Naruto's hand. However, before he could react, he heard Naruto suddenly whispered in front of him, "Scatter, Senbonzakura." All I saw was that the blade of Senbonzakura that collided with Umbu's blade suddenly shattered, scattered into pieces of sakura flowers, dancing in the air. Countless sakura flowers are flying and circling in the air, forming a very beautiful landscape. However, before Umbu could appreciate the sakura flower sea, suddenly, thousands of sakura flowers show murderous intent, and the moonlight illuminates the arc of sakura flowers, making people notice that the pieces of sakura flowers are actually countless blades. Then, thousands of sakura flower blades attacked Umbu like rough sea waves. When Umbu saw the overwhelming sea of sakura flowers, his eyes widened and he was dumbfounded. There is something incredible in the eyes. He shivered and quickly raised his short sword to block it. But there were too many sakura flower blades, and they swept towards Umbu in dense groups, which made people feel creepy. Soon, that Umbu was tired of parrying, and Sakura pierced through his defense with a blade and slashed at his body. There was a splash of blood. After a while, Umbu was covered in blood and scars. Seeing this, Naruto takes back Senbonzakura. Thousands of blades gathered in Naruto's palm again and turned into Senbonzakura blade. Holding Senbonzakura, Naruto came to that Umbu, looked at the tattered, scarred, and embarrassed Umbu, and asked coldly, "Say, who sent you here?" At this moment, Umbu no longer had the arrogant look just now, looked up at Naruto in horror, gritted his teeth, did not answer Naruto's question at all, but asked in disbelief, "You, a genin, actually have such strength? How is it possible?" "Sure enough, you are really a monster." Naruto frowned slightly. Seeing that Umbu didn't intend to answer him at all, he couldn't help but snorted coldly, raised his hand, and chopped it off. Puff! The blade sliced through that Umbu's head, and blood splashed in the air. That Umbu was immediately beheaded by Naruto. Before he died, Umbu had a shocked and unbelievable expression on his face. After Umbu's death, Naruto found that on Umbu's shocked and open mouth, one after another black and complex mantras quietly faded from his tongue. Seeing this, Naruto's pupils shrunk. He is very familiar with this spell. This is the curse seal. The mouth was cursed. This way of casting the curse is the root of the people. Chapter 16. The Clam and the Snipe Fight, and the Fisherman Wins. Konoha Umbu. Only people with roots can put curse marks on their mouths. The root is the organization Danzo secretly built. This kind of curse seal is also Danzo's curse seal on everyone in order to prevent his subordinates from revealing the secrets of the roots and the information of Konoha. As long as the secret related to him is revealed, the curse seal will be activated, and this person will definitely die. No wonder this Umbu didn't answer Naruto at all until he was dead. It turned out that he knew that he would die for a long time. Because the people at the root not only tell Danzo's secret, they will be immediately killed by the curse seal, and even if they fail to complete the task, they will have no good end. Unexpectedly, it was Danzo who sent people to catch him. Although Naruto had already guessed, after confirming the target, he was still a little shocked. Is Konoha going to shoot herself? No, it's not that simple. If Konoha really wanted to deal with him, he wouldn't just send Umbu, and he wouldn't send someone from the root. Besides, there is no need to be so troublesome, coming to my door in the middle of the night to bet on myself. Naruto guessed, I'm afraid, tonight's attack was only planned by Danzo alone, and Third Hokage didn't know about it. Otherwise, Third Hokage would have sent Umbu to monitor. It seemed that Danzo couldn't bear it anymore. Naruto exhaled, clenched his fists, and narrowed his eyes. He already knew that Danzo wanted to control himself, to brainwash himself. As early as many years ago, Danzo wanted to send people to capture him, but all the people he sent were secretly stopped by Umbu from Third Hokage, so Naruto was not in danger. Although he didn't see it, Naruto was very aware of these things that happened behind the scenes. After all, Umbu had even clashed with people from his roots on his own roof a few years ago. For some unknown reason, Danzo shot himself again. Could it be because of Mizuki's death? Naruto took a deep breath. No matter what, he now has a whole card to protect himself. Even beheading a person with roots, Naruto is not afraid at all. Not to mention that Danzo didn't know it was him who made the shot. And it was not that simple for Danzo to really want to make a shot at himself. Casting Senbonzakura for the first time today already made Naruto realize how strong his power is now. With his own strength, using Senbonzakura's Shurikai, he easily beheaded a Jonin, although the strength of this Jonin is far behind Kakashi and the others. But that's Jonin too. Being able to kill Jonin easily, plus Naruto's endless means, even if Danzo does it himself, Naruto dares to be tough. Besides, if Danzo wants to control himself, he has to ask Third Hokage whether he agrees or not. Third Hokage will not sit back and watch the Jinchuriki that he has monitored for several years fall into the hands of others, allowing others to threaten his position. It's a struggle for power. Today he sent someone to arrest him. Third Hokage was unprepared, but next time it won't be so easy to succeed. If he can hide it from Third Hokage once, if he can't detect it twice or 3 times, then his Hokage will be in vain. And next, Naruto will start to act. After calmly thinking, Naruto took a few deep breaths, then disposed of the body, pretending nothing happened, and returned home to rest. The other side. In a dark basement, Danzo closed his eyes, meditating. Suddenly, noticing the disappearance of the curse mark on a person with roots, Danzo suddenly opened his eyes. The sharp eyes were slightly angry, and Danzo's face was extremely gloomy. Sarutobi, Danzo growled darkly. Hearing Danzo's voice, several root people hurriedly appeared in the basement, half kneeling on the ground, and asked Danzo what orders he had. Master Danzo, what happened? Sent to capture the root of the 9 tails Jinchuriki, dead. Danzo suppressed the anger in his heart and said very gloomily, "What?" Several Umbu were shocked and lost their voices. "Who did it?" The root man asked suspiciously. Danzo snorted coldly, broke out in majesty, and shouted gloomily, "Except for that old thing Sarutobi, who else? Who dares to kill the people at our roots? In order to prevent me from getting close to the 9 tails Jinchuriki, you actually cruelly killed the person at my root. Sarutobi, you really gave me a blow. You are indeed the person chosen by the teacher." Seeing Danzo getting so angry, several roots looked at each other, and none of them dared to speak. It seems that Danzo thought his men were killed by Third Hokage. After all, Third Hokage never let him get close to 9 tails Jinchuriki, quarreled many times, and even gave him a stern warning. But this time, Danzo even thought that Third Hokage was giving him a final warning, giving him a warning, clearly telling him not to get involved in 9 tails Jinchuriki. "Do you want to ask for clarification?" A root asked cautiously. Hearing the words of the root, Danzo gave the root a fierce look, and then gnashed his teeth and shouted angrily, "Ask? Why are you asking? Tell Sarutobi, why am I just going to confront him? Can't you see that this is Sarutobi's blatant warning? Humph, this time, he can kill my people, and next time, he can send someone to watch me. Our roots haven't grown yet, so let's not confront Hokage head-on. When our roots come out of the ground, I'll tell Sarutobi thoroughly that his decision was wrong." Danzo's eyes flickered with a sinister arc, and the people at the root of the side nodded repeatedly, not daring to be disobedient. It seems that Danzo is going to take this dumb loss secretly. Chapter 17. After the night of the celebration banquet is over, get up early the next morning. According to the time stipulated by Kakashi, after Naruto got up early and washed, he gathered at the agreed Konoha gate. It was just at 6 o'clock in the morning as agreed. The guard at the Konoha gate yawned, and began to be busy today. When he arrived at the Konoha gate, Naruto saw Sasuke and little Sakura waiting there. The two of them seemed to have arrived a long time early, and little Sakura was shivering from the morning frost. Seeing Naruto coming, little Sakura's delicate body stepped forward slightly, and said, "Hello, Naruto, you're here. It's exactly 6 o'clock, and Mr. Kakashi hasn't arrived yet. He said that the most important thing for a ninja is to be punctual." As he spoke, the little Sakura complained a little and stomped her feet. Originally, she wanted to give Kakashi a good impression of being punctual, and she just became a ninja last night, thinking that today she was going to pick up the first entrusted task in her life. So she fell asleep excitedly all night, and came early Konoha gate collection. Unexpectedly, what Kakashi said last night was like a joke, and there was no sign of it until 6 o'clock. Naruto smiled and didn't say anything. He knew that Kakashi would be late, so he was very patient. After about an hour, Kakashi finally came. A body flicker technique, Kakashi appeared in front of everyone and greeted with a smile. "Oh, I didn't expect you to come so early. I drank too late last night and almost didn't wake up in the morning. Mr. Kakashi, didn't you say that the most important thing for a ninja is to be punctual?" Liar. Sakura stomped her feet angrily when she heard Kakashi's words. Kakashi smiled, ignoring little Sakura's complaints, and then said to the three, "Don't worry, it's all right, let's go. I will take you to pick up the task next." During the complaints of little Sakura, everyone also came to Hokage's office with Kakashi. At this time, Hokage's office was very lively. All jonin brought their freshly graduated Xiaoqiang to receive the task, so Naruto and the others could also meet many acquaintances. Ino and Kiba greeted Naruto very warmly when they saw Naruto. After a while, Kakashi took Naruto and the others to receive today's commission after the others had almost finished picking up. Sure enough, without waiting for Naruto and the others to speak, Kakashi said to take a few D-level tasks first and let Sasuke and the others practice their skills. It's no wonder, since Jinin just graduated, he always starts with D-level tasks. After doing too many D-level tasks, he is allowed to take higher-level C-level tasks only after his strength and ability are approved. And Naruto and the others have just graduated, and they can only start with the lowest-level tasks. However, Sasuke disagrees. As soon as Kakashi finished speaking, Sasuke stepped forward and said in extreme opposition, "Is there any higher-level missions? I want to accept higher-level missions, and I will continue to hone myself and make myself stronger." Sasuke clenched his fists and gritted his teeth, looking very excited. It seems that yesterday's survival exercise stimulated Sasuke, and Sasuke, who refused to admit defeat, wanted to urgently enhance his strength. However, Kakashi did not respond to him. Instead, he looked at Sakura and Naruto and asked their opinions. After hearing Sasuke's words, little Sakura froze for a moment, and then, little Sakura struggled slightly in her heart. After yesterday's survival exercise, little Sakura can also clearly realize that she is the weakest member of the team now. The very strong little Sakura is not reconciled to being the mogul of the team. Seeing that Sasuke wants to become stronger so much, the little Sakura also made up her mind immediately and said firmly, "Mr. Kakashi, I also want to take on more advanced tasks and hone myself." Naruto also nodded along with the two of them. Of course, he didn't want to take boring D-level tasks to pass the time. Seeing the determined eyes of several people, Kakashi thought for a while, then exhaled, looked at third Hokage again and said, "In that case, Master Hokage, please give us a C-level mission." "Don't worry, with my protection, nothing will happen to them," Kakashi said with assurance. Hearing what Kakashi said, third Hokage nodded. He knew why Sasuke and Sakura Jr. wanted to take up high-level tasks so much. Moreover, from the perspective of daily performance, the 7th class is very good, and it seems that there is no problem with the advanced tasks. Not to mention, with the protection of elite Jonin Kakashi. After thinking about it, third Hokage also agreed to Kakashi's request, nodded and said, "Okay, since you all want to take on high-level missions so much, then here is a suitable escort for you." Having said that, third Hokage took out a scroll from the drawer and threw it to Kakashi. There is a big C symbol drawn on the surface of the scroll. Obviously, this is the power of attorney and content of the C-level mission. Seeing this, Sasuke and little Sakura also smiled and nodded with satisfaction. Opening the scroll, a striking line of words caught everyone's attention. C-level entrusted task. Escort the client Dezina to the country of waves safely. Seeing this line of words, Naruto was taken aback. Unexpectedly, the first mission was to go to the land of waves. But it just so happens that this is also following Naruto's mind, because Naruto's plan is planning to start from the land of waves. Chapter 18. Enemy Attack. After getting the entrustment scroll of the mission, Kakashi immediately took Naruto and the others into action. First, find the client of the mission, Dazna. When he found Dazna, he was still drinking drunk in the tavern. Knowing that the 3 Genin were responsible for protecting him, he immediately cursed in dissatisfaction. The old man himself is not sure. He just wants to get the highest treatment with the least amount of money. How is this possible? It is just a dream. Fortunately, he heard that a Jonin from Kakashi was also going there, so Dazna felt relieved. As the best bridge builder in the land of waves, at the moment he is so sloppy and smells of alcohol, little Sakura frowned. But fortunately, they didn't bother with these things. Under Kakashi's persuasion, everyone quickly embarked on a journey to the land of waves. The land of waves is a land without ninjas. There is only one bridge between the country and other big countries. However, in recent years, an uninvited guest of tyranny has come to the country of Bo, the rich man Kaido. Kaido is very rich. When he came to the Kingdom of Waves, he quickly monopolized the business of the Kingdom of Waves, and even interrupted the traffic bridge between the Kingdom of Waves and the outside world, in an attempt to control the Kingdom of Waves and develop his own power. In order to save the country of waves, Dasna brought a small amount of money and came to Konoha for help. The entrusted task is naturally to protect Dasna back to the country of waves, and to help Dasna rebuild the traffic bridge. It seems that this task is very simple. Without ninjas, it means that only 3 genins can easily complete the task. After all, in the ninja world, there is a big gap between ordinary people and ninjas. Even genin is an insurmountable existence for ordinary people. Even if they practice martial arts, they cannot compete with ninjas unless they practice to the peak. However, Naruto knows that this task is not that simple. Sure enough, Kakashi frowned shortly after Naruto and the others left the border of the Land of Fire. He vaguely sensed that they were being followed. Little Sakura and Sasuke hadn't noticed the crisis yet. This was the first time for the few of them to go out of the village. In the past, even if the school held exercises and other activities, they were only held around the village, and there was no chance to go out to enjoy the scenery outside. Therefore, both of them admired the scenery along the way curiously. Just when Dasna tirelessly introduced various beautiful scenery and happy memories of the past in the Kingdom of Waves, all of a sudden, 2 black shadows flashed across the forest in the distance, and then, a strong wind flashed past. 2 huge shurikens flew from the dark woods. The target is directed at Dasna. The huge shurikens suddenly appeared, which surprised little Sakura and Sasuke. Before the two could react, the enemy took advantage of the moment of the shuriken attack and rushed out of the woods. Past. After Kakashi on the side blocked 2 shurikens with kunai, he saw 2 enemies appearing and attacking the little Sakura and Sasuke, but the little Sakura and Sasuke seemed to be frightened. There was no time to dodge, and they were very frightened. In the same place, I can't even run if I want to. Seeing this, Kakashi pretended to be panicked, and after flying the shuriken, he ran to Sasuke and Sakura, trying to block the enemy's attack for them. Seeing Kakashi standing in front of little Sakura and Sasuke desperately, the 2 enemies sneered as if they had succeeded in a trick. Their bodies suddenly exerted force and their speed increased, and kunai stabbed Kakashi fiercely. Puff. Blood splattered. Kakashi was horrified, and the 2 enemy kunai penetrated his body and knocked him to the ground. After killing Kakashi, the 2 ninjas sneered, looked at the frightened little Sakura and Sasuke with cold eyes, and said in a low voice, "First target, kill. Next." After finishing speaking, the 2 ninjas moved and rushed towards Sasuke and little Sakura again. This time they didn't hold anything back and were ready to take the lives of Sasuke and little Sakura. But Sasuke and little Sakura saw their teacher Kakashi was killed, and the blood was still splashing in the air. The 2 of them seemed to be frightened. They stood still in place, their eyes widened, and their pupils were still shocked and terrified. They never expected that they would be attacked so soon after leaving the village. Moreover, the opponent is still a ninja who has really killed people. Their teacher, Kakashi, fell in front of them to protect them. What to do? What to do? Sasuke and little Sakura were both thinking in horror. Just when the 2 ninjas were about to stab Sakura and Sasuke with kunai, a figure rose into the air, and a faint voice suddenly came out. Fire style, great fireball technique. With the sound, a group of ferocious flames descended from the sky, passed through the heads of little Sakura and Sasuke, and came straight towards the 2 ninjas. The 2 ninjas were taken aback for a moment and quickly retreated to dodge, giving up this round of attacks. After the 2 ninjas distanced themselves from Sakura and Sasuke, they realized that the fire style caster just now, that's Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto looked at them indifferently and came to the little Sakura and Sasuke, looking straight at them without fear. The eyes of Sasuke and little Sakura were also on Naruto in astonishment. They seemed to be puzzled. Why Naruto was able to move, why Naruto was not frightened, and dared to fight the enemy and fight back. Obviously their instructor, Jonin Kakashi, was killed. This is not acting, it's a fight between real ninjas. Why is Naruto not afraid? Sasuke gritted his teeth. An expression of anger and unwillingness came to his mind. And the little Sakura is full of splendor, worshipping Naruto, who appeared like a savior. Chapter 19. There is no one who doesn't work hard, only people who don't scream pain. After Naruto stopped the 2 enemies, he glanced at them indifferently. The 2 people in front of them are wearing a forehead protector, and there is a conspicuous crack on the forehead protector. Obviously they are ninjas. Moreover, it is still rebellious. After the 2 traitors were stopped by Naruto, they looked at Naruto in surprise. Seeing that the other party is just like Sasuke and Sakura, who were frightened just now, he couldn't help but sneer, and attacked again as if he didn't take Naruto seriously. Facing the joint attack of the 2 ninjas, Naruto took his time and threw 2 shurikens to force one of them back. Then he quickly came in front of another person, fisted in his hand, and punched out with lightning speed. Directly hit the enemy's stomach. The Danin didn't even have time to react. He was hit by Naruto's punch and was directly blasted out, hitting the tree hard. Seeing his companion being blown away, the remaining one shouted angrily and rushed forward, wanting to avenge his companion and end Naruto's life. However, before he could take a few steps, Naruto turned around and rushed over, raised his foot and kicked the man directly in the face. The powerful foot force exploded, and the Danin had no time to say anything and was kicked by Naruto and fell to the ground, unconscious. The battle is over. The 2 attacking ninjas were defeated by Naruto alone. Looking at the 2 rebels who fell on the ground, Naruto shook his head. These 2 people are really too weak, just like Genin. Just like this, they still acted as traitors. I really don't know how they survived the hunt in the village. On the other hand, Sasuke and little Sakura, who were stunned by the enemy, watched this scene in a daze. Seeing that the enemy who killed their teacher Kakashi was easily and quickly defeated by Naruto, the 2 looked dumbfounded and couldn't react. At this moment, there was a sound of slaps, and then Sasuke and Sakura heard a familiar voice. That's right, Naruto, your response is quick. Protecting your companions in time is the most important thing for a ninja. You make me very satisfied. After the sound sounded, I saw that Kakashi, who was supposed to be killed by the enemy, appeared behind the client Dasna. Sasuke and little Sakura looked at Kakashi in bewilderment, both dumbfounded and speechless. Teacher Kakashi, haven't you been killed? Little Sakura asked in a daze. Look who fell on the ground. Kakashi laughed. The 2 were stunned for a moment, only to realize that the one that protected Sasuke and little Sakura from being knocked down by the enemy turned out to be a piece of wood. Around the wood, there are many water spots, obviously. This is all Kakashi's blindfold just now. Kakashi didn't die, but hid and watched them do it. The 2 suddenly realized and understood. It's no wonder. How could a Jonin be defeated so easily? Before little Sakura and the others were happy that Kakashi was alive, Kakashi suddenly changed his smile. Instead, he stared at Sasuke and little Sakura very solemnly and shouted. On the contrary, Sasuke, little Sakura, the 2 of you faced the enemy's attack, were frightened in place, and didn't even have a defensive posture. I was really disappointed. Is this your determination to do more advanced tasks? Ridiculous. Facing Kakashi's scolding, little Sakura lowered her head in shame. Sasuke, on the other hand, clenched his fists, stared at Naruto, and gritted his teeth. Before the little Sakura asked what happened to Sasuke, immediately after, Sasuke yelled excitedly at Naruto. Why? Why are you not afraid? Obviously, I witnessed the killing of the whole family. Obviously, I am the one who has experienced more and wants to become stronger the most. Obviously, the genius of the Uchiha clan is me. It is I who bear the hope of the whole clan, and I want revenge. It is me want to become stronger. But why? You can do things that I can't. Why? You surpassed me. You are a lazy crane tail, and a poor student who has passed all aspects of the school. Why should you be stronger than me? Sasuke's hysterical roar frightened the little Sakura beside him, and the little Sakura looked at Sasuke with some fear, not knowing what happened to Sasuke at all. Kakashi, on the other hand, narrowed his eyes, watching the excited Sasuke and the calm Naruto. After Naruto heard Sasuke's roar, he looked at Sasuke faintly. Sasuke's expression of resignation was all over his face, as if he must find out the reason, and he couldn't accept the reality that Naruto would be better than him. Naruto looked at the hysterical and crazy Sasuke indifferently, shook his head, and said lightly, "Do you think you are the worst alone? Do you think you are the only one who shoulders the mission of the whole clan? You alone have ambitions, and you want to become stronger? Wake up, Uchiha Sasuke. Everyone bears their own destiny. Just because you don't know, doesn't mean it didn't happen. Everyone's suffering is the same. It's just that some people don't want to show it, don't want to be known. One person bears silently. Tell you, there is no one who does not work hard, only one who does not scream pain." His indifferent eyes scanned Sasuke's whole body, and his indifferent words shocked him. Both Sasuke and little Sakura stared at Naruto dumbfounded, their eyes gradually becoming unbelievable and unbelievable. Chapter 20. The mission continues. After some words, Sasuke gradually calmed down. Naruto looked at Sasuke and saw that Sasuke was trembling all over. His pupils were slightly dilated, and his clenched fists were slowly loosening. Naruto is right, he is not the only one to experience and feel the cruelty of this world. Other people also have their differences. If others don't say it, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It's just that they choose to bear it silently and grow silently. No one doesn't work hard, only people don't cry out for pain. As for Kakashi and little Sakura, after hearing what Naruto said, their expressions were also colorful. Kakashi narrowed his eyes slightly, staring at Naruto thoughtfully. The little Sakura also opened her mouth slightly, covered it with her little hand. Her heart trembled inexplicably. The atmosphere of silence surrounded everyone. After a long time, the old man Dasna broke the silence and said, "Well, Kakashi, you Konohas are really talented. That kid is really good. Even an old man like me admires it." Dasna came to Kakashi's side, looked at Naruto with admiration, and praised. Kakashi smiled and said nothing. Sasuke also took a deep breath, calmed down, snorted, and turned his head back. Everyone continued on their way. And Dasna kept telling Kakashi, let Naruto stay by his side and protect himself well. Little Sakura also came to Kakashi, blinked and asked, "Mr. Kakashi, what did Naruto mean just now? I can't understand a word." Seeing the confused little Sakura, Kakashi turned his head and stared deeply at Naruto, and said lightly, "You'll find out later." The little Sakura nodded in confusion, not knowing why. She looked at Naruto, as if she wanted to see through Naruto's secret. It's no wonder little Sakura would ask this question. She and Naruto are people from two worlds. They have not experienced the same sophistication, let alone the slightest intrigue. Some only have a happy childhood and grew up innocently, but how could they know the danger in the depths of Konoha? But what Naruto said just now still touched her deeply. Not long after little Sakura asked, Kakashi squinted and smiled at Dasna, and asked lightly, "Mr. Dasna, should you explain the real situation of this mission? Why are ninjas coming to assassinate you?" Dasna was taken aback, and after hearing Kakashi's words, his face was a little flustered, and he quickly said with dodge eyes, "What are you talking about? I don't understand at all." Kakashi snorted coldly when he heard Dasna say that, and immediately waved his hand to make everyone stop. Since this is the case, then we have nothing to say. Naruto, Sasuke, little Sakura, turn around. Let's go back to Konoha. Little Sakura was taken aback, not knowing what happened. But Naruto and Sasuke have almost guessed. The rebellion just now was obviously not aimed at them. They just became genin, for no reason. How could there be conflicts with rebellion? Moreover, when Rebel Ninja appeared, Dasna was very flustered, but he didn't ask what was going on, as if he knew that there would be a ninja attack. In Konoha's task entrustment plan, whenever there is a conflict with a ninja, the task entrustment will be upgraded to a C level or higher level. Obviously, there is something wrong with this commission. With the appearance of ninjas, it is definitely not as simple as a C-level task. Seeing that Kakashi was really going to take someone away, Dasna became anxious and said quickly, Don't go, you go. I'm really dead." I said, "I'll tell you all." Then, Dasna told Kakashi and the others the real situation. The Kingdom of Waves is controlled by Kaido, but under the hands of the rich Kaido, there are not only a group of rogue swordsmen, but also powerful rebels. This is also the reason why the people of the Kingdom of Waves cannot resist at all. In an ordinary country where there were no ninjas, rebellion suddenly appeared. How can ordinary people resist? As for the person just now, Dasna also said that he might be the minion sent by Kaido. And the reason why Dasna concealed it and did not report it is because, if it is true that there is a rebellion in the Kingdom of Waves, the remuneration for delivering the task is not as simple as C-level, but B-level or even above. But he doesn't have so much money, so Dasna had to hide it. But Dasna didn't expect that if the ninja who usually takes C-level missions came to this mission, it would not save his life at all, and it would not be able to save the Land of Waves. I can only die with him. Fortunately, they met Naruto and the others. After listening to Datsuna's explanation, Kakashi frowned, looked at Naruto and Sasuke, and said solemnly, "It seems that the difficulty and level of the task have far exceeded what was originally expected. According to what Dasna said, the other party might send ninjas to attack. Although we blocked the first wave of ninja attacks, if we continue to walk, we will definitely encounter stronger enemies. At that time, even I may not be able to protect you." Hearing Kakashi's words, the expressions of Sasuke and little Sakura changed. Sasuke clenched his fists, as if he didn't want to give up the task. "I don't want to give up the opportunity to hone myself." As for the little Sakura, remembering the bloody and cruel scene just now, she clenched her little hands in fear. Looking at the expressions of several people, Kakashi comforted, "It's okay. This mission happened suddenly. No one thought that even if you want to give up, it's normal. Moreover, the best result is that we return to the village, tell third Hokage what happened, and let third Hokage decide. This mission has nothing to do with us. From the looks of it, Kakashi seems to want to give up this commission. When Dazna on the side heard it, he was extremely panicked, with an anxious face, and said quickly, Don't, please, save me, a bad old man. If you leave, I will definitely die. There will be no hope for the country of Bo. Please, save the country of Bo. But Dazna's words didn't make Kakashi shake in the slightest. Kakashi ignored his statement, looked at Sasuke and small Sakura and Naruto, asked their opinions, and said, What do you think? When the three of them heard Kakashi's words, they all had different reactions. Sasuke lowered his head, clenched his fists, and gritted his teeth, as if he was unwilling to give up just like that. So is little Sakura. But they remembered the bloody and cruel scene just now, the ruthless fighting, and the blood-splattered tragedy. It made their bodies tremble slightly. Soon, Sasuke gasped, and before Kakashi and others could speak, he raised his head and shouted, I want to continue the mission. As soon as Sasuke opened his mouth, both Kakashi and little Sakura looked at him. Then, Sasuke continued, This task is my best training. I will never allow myself to be as incompetent as before. I demand to continue. Hearing Sasuke's words, little Sakura soon made up her mind and said resolutely, Me too, Mr. Kakashi. Grandpa Dazna is too pitiful. Let's help him. If I really encounter a powerful enemy, I will try my best to protect myself. After the two finished talking, Kakashi nodded. Immediately, Kakashi set his eyes on Naruto and asked, Naruto, what about you? Naruto smiled lightly. Everyone looked at Naruto. Dazna also looked at Naruto nervously. He knew, thanks to Naruto just now, and Naruto's decision seems to be related to their future. With the performance just now, Naruto has become the backbone of the three-person team. Everyone is waiting for Naruto's choice. Immediately afterwards, Naruto said with a smile, Go on, Kakashi-sensei. Seeing that Naruto said so, Kakashi exhaled, so he nodded, looked at everyone seriously, and said, Okay, since you all want to continue so much, then go ahead. However, from now on, you guys don't leave my side for a moment. Form a cross formation around Dazna, and protect him firmly. Sasuke and the others nodded heavily and immediately put on high alert. Chapter 21. After everyone decided to continue the mission, they began to rush to the Land of Waves nonstop. Only after reaching the Kingdom of Waves can they settle down and better prepare for the upcoming attacks. Along the way, Sasuke and little Sakura are on alert, guarding against attacks that may appear around them at any time. On the contrary, Kakashi and Naruto are very relaxed, talking and laughing with Dazna. On the way, Kakashi also called Naruto to his side, looked at Naruto, and asked, Naruto, what do you think of the next mission? Naruto was taken aback. He didn't expect Kakashi to ask himself this alone. After thinking for a while, Naruto said, The other party sent Ren in the first attack, which means that they must have more powerful Rinun who have not made a move. If an attack is not successful, I am afraid that the next one, someone with real strength will make a move. After hearing Naruto's analysis, Kakashi nodded in agreement and said appreciatively, Well, you're right. This mission is obviously not as simple as Dazner said that the other party only has some wandering ninjas. I saw it just now. The two rebels just now wore the sign of Kirigakure, which is obviously Kirigakure's rebellion. Next, the enemies you encounter are unpredictable. Even enemies at the Jonin level are very likely. So, in case once I'm entangled, I'll leave it to you to protect Datsuna, little Sakura, and Sasuke. Kakashi looked at Naruto earnestly and said. Naruto was taken aback, looked deeply at Kakashi, and said lightly, If it's really Jonin, do you think I can protect them? Kakashi smiled mysteriously and said meaningfully, If not, I won't talk to you. After speaking, Kakashi shifted his eyes to Darzna, and talked and laughed with Darzna again. Naruto narrowed his eyes and looked at Kakashi as if Kakashi saw something. The day passed quickly. The distance between the Land of Waves and the Land of Fire is not very far. After one day, everyone has arrived in the Land of Waves. Because the only bridge between the Land of Waves and the outside world was destroyed by Kaido, everyone could only come to the Land of Waves by boat along the waterway. The sky was filled with thick fog, making everyone's vision very blurred and unable to see their surroundings clearly. As soon as he arrived in the Land of Waves, Dazna looked around suspiciously and said, It's strange. How can there be such a thick fog in the Land of Waves? It's really rare to see. And it's so quiet today. As soon as Dasna finished speaking, Kakashi was stunned when he heard it and shouted, "Be careful, the enemy may be coming." After speaking, Kakashi immediately pulled out kunai and put himself in a fighting state. Seeing Kakashi's tense state, little Sakura and the others quickly looked around vigilantly. "Mr. Kakashi, what's going on? Didn't we just arrive in the land of waves?" Little Sakura asked suspiciously. In their eyes, let alone enemies, they couldn't even see a single person. Moreover, the surrounding area was filled with thick fog, and it was very quiet, not even the sound of birds chirping. Originally, Sasuke also wanted to ask, but when he realized this, he suddenly realized something was wrong and said solemnly, "It's so strange, it's so quiet around." Kakashi nodded, looked around, and explained to Sakura and the others, "Sasuke is right, it's too quiet around here. Although it's morning, there shouldn't be even a bird chirping. And, as Mr. Dasner just said, there is rarely such a thick fog in the land of waves. But since we entered after the Kingdom of Waves, not only did the fog in the Kingdom of Waves not dissipate in the slightest, but it became thicker and thicker. It is very likely that the enemy has tracked us." Hearing Kakashi's words, Sasuke and little Sakura were taken aback for a moment and quickly lifted their spirits. Everyone looked around vigilantly, trying to find traces of the enemy. Dasna also became nervous. He didn't expect that an enemy really came after he said so casually. As expected, not long after Kakashi and the others put on alert, a hoarse and arrogant voice came from all directions. As expected of the famous Konoha copy ninja, Hatake Kakashi. "I noticed it so quickly. It seems that Brother Oni also died in your hands." The voice seemed to come from the abyss, revealing a strong, murderous aura, which made little Sakura shudder when she heard it. Kakashi looked around. The thick fog, coupled with the fact that the other party deliberately disturbed the sight and hearing, concealed his breath, and chakra was confusing around him, so he couldn't hear where the sound was coming from. Kakashi frowned, looked at the mist of chakra mixed around him, and asked lightly, "Mist shinobi technique?" The owner of the voice nodded appreciatively after hearing Kakashi's words. "That's right, it's the Mist shinobi technique." It seems that Kakashi also knows a lot about our Kirigakure's ninjutsu. Kakashi snorted coldly and didn't respond, but said like Naruto and little Sakura at the side, "Naruto, Sasuke, little Sakura, prepare carefully, the opponent's strength is not easy." Little Sakura and Sasuke held kunai nervously and looked around. Naruto, on the other hand, looked in one direction, watching lightly. "Do you think you can avoid my assassination by being careful?" The owner of that voice seemed to want to give Kakashi some color. Just as the voice fell, a burst of wind suddenly sounded. Immediately afterwards, everyone saw a broadsword longer than Kakashi's body flying towards them. The broadsword is extremely wide. The power contained in it is also very terrifying. As soon as they appear, slash at Kakashi and the others, as if wanting to kill Kakashi and the others. It's not something ordinary people can stop. Seeing this, Kakashi picked up Dasna, dodged backwards, and at the same time shouted at Sasuke and the others, "Get away!" Hearing Kakashi's shout, Sasuke and little Sakura also reacted and dodged quickly. The terrifying big knife passed over their heads and chopped down on the big tree in the distance with a bang. At the same time, everyone was shocked to find that a figure stood on the big knife that was chopped at the big tree. It was a burly, terrifying middle-aged man with dense scars all over his body, wearing half-length trousers and a white bandage around his mouth. When the middle-aged man appeared, he gave Kakashi and the others a bloodthirsty grin. Seeing this middle-aged man, Kakashi's pupils shrank immediately, and he said the name of this man word by word. "Mist Shinobi is rebellious, good at silent assassination, ghosts and peaches will never be cut again." Chapter 22. Hearing Kakashi reveal his name in detail, Zabujan was not surprised, but even smiled proudly. "I didn't expect that Hatake Kakashi knew me. I'm really honored." However, being praised, Kakashi was not happy, but frowned with a very dignified look. He knew very well how difficult the enemy in front of him was. Touty no longer cut, known as the Mist Shinobi Ghost, one of the 7 Mist Shinobi. He is extremely good at silent killing techniques. He can kill people silently. Even the people who are killed are not aware of it. Very scary. Kakashi did not expect to meet such an opponent in a small country of waves. "Humph. I didn't expect that if you don't kill the majestic ghost, you will be involved in the disputes of a small country. It's really a shame for you." Kaka mocked with a sneer. Bujan didn't care. He licked the corner of his mouth bloodthirstily and glanced at Kakashi and the others. Everyone was stared at by Zaibujan, and they shuddered, feeling as if they were being stared at by Lion Majesty. Creepy. Then, I heard Zaibujan say, I was also forced to live. In order to avoid the pursuit of Mist Shinobi Umbu, I had to hide in this small wave country. Kakashi, I don't want to fight against you, Konoha. So leave this old man to me, and let's pretend nothing happened. How about it? Saying that, he pointed at Dasna, who was trembling beside him. Dasna was called by Zabuza, and he shivered immediately, and hurriedly ran behind Kakashi, telling Kakashi and the others not to break their promise, and to protect him well. Kakashi ignored Datsuna's words, but stared at Zabucho, shook his head and said, Konoha doesn't have the habit of giving up on tasks. Zabuza licked the corner of his mouth, stared at Kakashi coldly, and said, That is to say, there is no discussion? Kakashi didn't reply. Bujan snorted coldly, his eyes darkened, and he said fiercely, Toasting does not eat fine wine. Since this is the case, let me see if you, Hatake Kakashi, can stop my assassination. Kakashi, don't forget, you made a wrong decision. Not only the old man died, but also you, those students. You can protect one person, but can you protect everyone? Humph, be careful. Don't die suddenly. If you don't cut off the thread of fierceness, you will seal it again. As soon as the seal was formed, the dense fog rose again, covering the figure of Zaibujan, and Zabujan disappeared. If he didn't cut it again, it seemed to P*** K Sasuke's nerves. After Sasuke heard it, he remembered the unbearable performance of the traitor. As soon as he gritted his teeth, he immediately clenched his fists and wanted to rush forward to prove himself and shouted, I don't need anyone's protection. Before running a few steps, Kakashi quickly stopped Sasuke and shouted to the impulsive Sasuke, Stop it, Sasuke. The opponent this time is completely different from before. He's not something you can handle. Sasuke gritted his teeth and glared at Kakashi unwillingly. Kakashi is also frowning at this moment. Why doesn't he know that the threat of not beheading is very reasonable? If he fights alone with Zaibujan, he will definitely have a high chance of winning. However, he still has to protect Datsuna, Sakura, and Sasuke. Moreover, the opponent is still a ghost who is good at silent killing books. One of the 7 members of Mist Shinobi, the one who frightens ordinary ninjas. He can protect 1 or 2, but if he wants to protect everyone, he is also a bit weak. So, Kakashi took a deep breath and said like Naruto, who was watching the battle indifferently, Naruto, I entrust their safety to you. Protect them. Naruto nodded indifferently, his eyes flickered, and he didn't know whether he listened or not. Sasuke on the side heard that Kakashi asked Naruto to protect him, and his strong personality made him grit his teeth and roar, wishing he could rush forward and fight to the death. But he is not a fool, and Kakashi can be so cautious if he does not cut. It is enough to show his strength. If he went up, he would just die. So Sasuke also calmed down and observed the movement around him. After ordering everything, Kakashi also took a deep breath, mobilized chakra, and prepared to fight. All I saw was that Kakashi raised the forehead protector covering his left eye, revealing a scarlet eye. The pupils of the eyes were blood red, and the 3 Tomoe slowly turned, very strange. Apparently the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan. Seeing Kakashi's Sharingan, Sasuke froze in place with a stunned expression. Just about to ask, Kakashi stopped him immediately and said, Sasuke, I know you have a lot of questions, but now is not the time to explain this to you. After the battle is over, I will explain the origin of this eye to you. You just need to know that this eye was not obtained by me through improper means. It came, but it was given to me by a friend of Uchiha's. Sasuke nodded stiffly, before he could say anything. Everyone was shocked to find that the surrounding fog had become thicker. Moreover, the fog was still spreading, and soon everyone's vision became even more blurred, and they couldn't see their fingers. Even, they couldn't see where their companions were. Naruto, Sasuke, Teacher Kakashi, where are you? Seeing this scene, little Sakura yelled anxiously. Little Sakura, don't be afraid. Kakashi comforted. Just when the fog filled the air and everyone was tense, guarding against the ghost man's attack at any time, no one noticed that Naruto's figure had disappeared in place at some point. Chapter 23. Not far after Naruto disappeared. Standing on the big tree, Zabuza looked at the surrounding fog with hidden breath and frowned. He knew very clearly that the mist shinobi technique he had just displayed should not be so strong, and the thick fog in front of him was so thick that he couldn't see his fingers. Even if he wants to use such a strong mist shinobi technique, he still needs to consume a lot of chakra. And this scene, as if someone helped him and wanted to hide something deliberately, made Zaibujan feel very suspicious. Just when Zaibujan was deeply puzzled by the fog, suddenly, Zaibujan suddenly discovered that there was an extra figure in front of him at some point. The figure had blonde hair and a calm face, and it was one of the genin on Kakashi's side that he saw just now. Bujan shrank his pupils, narrowed his eyes, and stared at Naruto for an instant. Interesting that a genin can find my location. The sharp eyes scanned Naruto's whole body, and then said in a low voice. Hearing the words of not beheading again, Naruto smiled lightly, not afraid of the ghost who claimed to kill without batting an eye in front of him, and said, "Is it hard to find? Besides, your mist is too thin, so I gave you a hand." Naruto's words made Zaibujan stunned for a moment. Zaibujan looked at Naruto with some incredulous expression in his eyes. What? Naruto said that he played the mist shinobi technique that made him feel that it would consume a lot of money? No More Chopping obviously refused to believe it, looked at Naruto in surprise and asked, "You said that this fog was caused by you?" Naruto nodded. Before Naruto could speak, he sneered again and said, "What an arrogant brat. Although I don't know what method you used to find me, if you want to confuse me in this way, it's a bit too small to look down on me. Say, who was behind your back to help you?" Obviously, Bujan doesn't believe Naruto's words, but feels that someone must help Naruto. Naruto shrugged and didn't want to explain this, because, next, he would tell Zabuza with his actions. Seeing that Naruto didn't intend to speak, Bujan snorted coldly, his face darkened, his eyes showed fierce intent. He looked at Naruto bloodthirsty and said, "Forget it. Since you don't want to say it, then I don't bother to ask a dead person any questions. If you dare to walk in front of me, a ghost, I will take your life." After finishing speaking, he raised his sword and leaped upwards. The huge beheading sword flew in the air like covering the sky and covering the sun, and then, the sword slashed fiercely towards Naruto. The powerful force set off a whirlwind, and the surrounding fog was blown away a lot. Obviously, if you don't want to kill the little ghost in front of you with one knife, let him know that if the ghost is not beheaded, he must not be bullied. However, just when the beheading knife is about to fall on Naruto's head, Naruto raised his head. His eyes were indifferent. Clenched fists punched out. The seemingly weak fist seems to be unable to withstand the attack of the beheading sword at all. Seeing this scene, Zaibujan sneered, secretly mocking Naruto's stupidity. He believed that Naruto's fist would definitely be cut in two by his beheading sword. Maybe even the whole arm was cut off. A mere genin. How dare he confront the 7 ghosts of Mist Shinobi again? How insane. However, the next scene made Zaibujan wide-eyed and dumbfounded. All I saw was that Naruto's fist landed on the blade of the beheading sword after blasting out. Not only did the blade not cut off Naruto's arm as expected, on the contrary, when it touched Naruto's fist, it also made a metal-like collision sound, as if cutting steel. A huge force struck, shaking "Don't cut off your arms and feel numb." It was also so shocking that the beheading sword could not move forward by half a point. How is this possible? Zaibujan opened his eyes wide, watching this unbelievable scene, and lost his voice in shock. This was the first time he had seen such a situation, seeing someone actually block the blade of the beheading knife with a physical fist. Moreover, he still slammed his fist on the blade abruptly, and he was still safe and sound. It simply made Zaibujan feel unbelievable. You know, with the weight of the beheading sword and the strength he used, even Jonin would not dare to face head-to-head with the beheading sword. In a duel of strength at the same level, Zabuza has absolute confidence. However, at this moment, his confidence was broken by the 13 or 14-year-old kid in front of him. A genin, with his fist, blocked the attack of the beheading sword abruptly. Not only that, this powerful force made him feel as if he had cut steel, unable to move forward. It simply made Zaibujan feel horrified. However, Naruto took a dissatisfied look at the beheading sword after he blocked the attack of the beheading sword with his fist. He only used half of his strength for the boxing this time. He thought that half of his strength would be enough to break the beheading sword. After all, Naruto smashed kunai like this last time. I didn't expect the hardness of the beheading sword to be so good. It resisted 50% of my own strength. Oh, I didn't expect it to be unbroken. At the moment, Naruto intends to use 2 more efforts to try the quality of the beheading sword. I only saw that Naruto's fist was hard, and the power of the punch exploded. It's like an ancient dragon waking up. Before Zaibujan could react, the next moment, Zaibujan would see it in horror. As Naruto gradually exerted force, Cracks slowly appeared on the blade of the beheading sword. Then bang! The fist exploded. The beheading sword burst into pieces. Chapter 24. The plan begins. Looking at the beheading sword that was broken into pieces, Zabuza lost his voice in astonishment. His eyes widened, and he was extremely shocked. For a while, it was very silent, and no one made a sound. After many years of fighting without beheading, although he has also seen the situation where the beheading sword was interrupted during the period, he was far from shocked by this scene. Because the one who interrupted the beheading sword was only a genin. Moreover, this genin does not use weapons, but fists. It only took one punch. With one punch, the heavy beheading sword was interrupted. Oh no, it's not an interruption, it's a smash. The beheading sword was blasted into dozens of pieces by Naruto. All this is like a nightmare, making Zabuza unbelievable and incredible. Of course, if Zabuza knew that the punch just now was just for Naruto to test his own strength and the hardness of the beheading sword, he would probably vomit blood in anger. That is the ninja sword of one of the 7 mist shinobi that he is proud of. At this moment, it seems so vulnerable. Zabuza stared at the fragments of the beheading sword on the ground in astonishment, speechless in astonishment. But at this time, Naruto thought in his heart, this beheading sword is really different from ordinary ninja tools. Last time, Naruto only used less than half of his strength to shatter the ninja's kunai, but this time, it took 70% to shatter the beheading sword. It is enough to see the tenacity of the beheading sword. Moreover, you must know that the beheading sword can also be restored with the help of blood. It seems that the ninja tools of the 7 members of Mist Shinobi really have their own secrets. However, at this moment Zabuza, after regaining consciousness, stared fiercely at Naruto. At the same time, there was a bit of surprise in that beast-like gaze, which made Zabuza start to doubt, could it really be the Mist Shinobi technique cast by this brat? But he's just a genin. It was such a genin who shattered his beheading sword. He took a deep breath, looked at Naruto solemnly, and said, "Little devil, who are you?" Naruto smiled faintly upon hearing Zabuza's words. After one round, Zabuza was no longer as impulsive as before. Konoha genin, Uzumaki Naruto. Someone here to help you. Help me? Zabuza frowned, looking at Naruto suspiciously. Naruto nodded and continued, "That's right. Do you think you can hide in the land of waves safe and sound?" "What do you mean?" Zabuza calmed down and asked in a low voice. "When you appear in Kakashi's sight, it means you have been exposed. Do you think you can kill Kakashi easily? As long as he goes back and truthfully reports the situation here, the next time he will come, it will not be someone from Konoha, it's Umbu from Mist Shinobi." Naruto's words made Zabuza narrow his eyes, and there was a dangerous arc in his eyes. Why didn't he know this truth? Then, Naruto continued, "Even if you killed Kakashi, but Kakashi hasn't returned for a long time, wouldn't Konoha send someone to track it down? At that time, your affairs in the Kingdom of Waves will be exposed. And you who killed Konoha's elite ninja will also, if you cannot escape death, you will be hunted down jointly by Konoha and Mist Shinobi." Naruto's words were like a death sentence of not beheading. No matter what he did, it seemed wrong. From the moment he appeared in front of Kakashi, it was already doomed not to hide the fact that he was in the land of waves. Then what do you think should be done? Zabuza squinted and stared at Naruto. He actually already knew these principles. But at this moment, I still couldn't help being surprised by Naruto's words. What surprised him even more was that Naruto, a 13 or 14-year-old kid, could actually see through all of this. It really made him feel evil. Naruto smiled lightly and quickly replied, "It's very simple. As long as you cooperate with me, I guarantee that you can continue to live in the Kingdom of Waves safely. After all, the target of our trip is not you, but the man behind Dezena's construction of the Namakuni Bridge. Kaido, you leave the Kingdom of Waves first. After we enter the Kingdom of Waves, we will kill Kaido. After completing the commission, we will not find you. After leaving, you will turn back and occupy the magpie's nest. In this way, you can continue to hide." After listening to Naruto's words, Zabuza nodded in amazement. Naruto's plan is really good, unimaginable. This is what a 13-year-old boy said. After Zabuza nodded in admiration, his eyes showed a bloodthirsty light, and said, "Yes, the plan is very good. However, I never like to listen to other people's actions, so I decided to kill you first, and then act according to this plan. This way, it will be more foolproof." After speaking, prepare to attack Naruto without cutting it. However, Naruto seemed to have expected to do this again. Without anger but with a smile, he said, "You think you're really capable of killing me?" Zabuzen licked the corner of his mouth in a bloodthirsty manner and said hoarsely and arrogantly, "I don't know what method you used to smash my beheading sword just now, but you are still a brat. You are still too tender in front of my ghost." As soon as the words fell, Zabuzen suddenly took a step forward and rushed in front of Naruto. Chapter 25. Cast Hado for the first time. Never lose again. Zabuzen held the kunai that had been secretly prepared in his hand, aiming at Naruto's neck, trying to succeed in one fell swoop when Naruto didn't pay attention and didn't react. However, Naruto seemed to have expected it a long time ago in the face of the attack, and he was not in a hurry. I just saw that Zabuzen's figure came to Naruto like a ghost, and when kunai was about to stab him, suddenly, "If you don't cut it, you will hear Naruto's faint voice. Scatter, Senbenzakura." The voice sounded, seeing that kunai, who was not going to be cut again, was about to fall. Suddenly, a flash of white light flashed, and Zabuzen was shocked to see that countless sakura flowers suddenly rose from Naruto's feet and flew out of the sky, straight to his body. Zabuzen hurriedly backed away, opened the distance, and dodged the attacks of these sakura flowers. These thousands of sakura flowers look magnificent and colorful, but years of fighting instincts tell Zabuzen that each of these sakura flowers is very terrifying, and they are murderous weapons. Do not come near. Sure enough, after Bujan opened the distance, he squinted his eyes and took a closer look, only to clearly see that the sky-filled sakura flowers that suddenly rose into the sky turned out to be extremely sharp blades. Countless blades hovered over his head, making his scalp numb even if he didn't cut it. Just when Zabuzen was horrified by the densely packed sakura flowers covering the sky, before he could react, Naruto didn't talk to him at all. All I could see was that Naruto moved his fingers lightly, pointing lightly at the figure that would never be cut again. Sakura flowers all over the sky began to spin and dance in an instant, condensing into a series of sharp blades, and they were blown away if they were not cut. Countless sakura flowers are like an overwhelming net, surrounded and attacked from all directions. There is nowhere to dodge for Zabuzen. Seeing this scene, Zai Bujan shuddered. He could only grit his teeth, hold the broken beheading sword, and quickly slash to resist. Although the size of the beheading sword is huge, it can barely block the attacks of several sakura flowers under the swing of the sword. But unfortunately, there are too many sakura flowers, like swarms of bees, coming again and again. Soon, some of the thousands of sakura flowers penetrated Zabuzen's defense, and the sharp-bladed sakura flowers slashed at Zabuzen's body. If you don't cut it, you will be bruised and bruised by the sakura flower attack immediately. But no matter how uncut he was still a tough guy. Even though he was attacked by Senbenzakura and was riddled with blood, he still gritted his teeth and didn't make a sound. Seeing this, Naruto also raised his hand again. The chakra in the palm was condensed, aimed at the body that would not be cut again, and said softly, "King's Lander, a mask of flesh and blood. Everything, flying high, crowned with the name of human beings, burning heat and strife, rolling southward across the sea. Step forward. 31 of Hado, red cannon." With the sound of Naruto's words, a huge flame condensed in Naruto's palm. The flames are extremely hot, containing a terrifying high temperature, burning and screaming towards Zabuju, just like a body that wants to burn Zabuju. This is Shinigami's Hado. It was the first time that Naruto used Hado, and with his strength, he was crowned as the word spirit, although this was only the 31st Hado. But its power has already exceeded the scope of A-level fire style. After Hado's flame condensed out, it aimed at Zabushu's body, roaring and blasting out. The flames danced in the air, like a fire dragon, drawing tracks in the air. Seeing the powerful and scorching flames coming towards him, he was not surprised, but he gritted his teeth and quickly performed ninjutsu in the seal in pain. More than a dozen Indian styles were condensed in the blink of an eye, and then they shouted loudly, "Water style, water dragon bomb." A huge water dragon rose into the air from behind Zabuzen. The water dragon roared a few times at the oncoming Hado fire, and then rushed towards it. The confrontation between the water dragon and Hado's fire. However, this water dragon bomb was only used hastily in order to resist Naruto's attack. How can Naruto strengthen Hado's convenience and speed with a single word? Moreover, in haste, the power of the water dragon bomb was greatly compromised. Even if it is used in the full state of Bujan, it may not be able to match the power of the number 31 Hado strengthened by Naruto with the power of words. Immediately afterwards, the two saw that the water dragon and Hado fire they unleashed collided in the air. Boom. After the two different huge energies collided, a huge sound burst out like the roar of an ancient dragon. After a while, Zobujan quickly saw that after the water dragon bomb he released collided with the fire of Hado. It turned out to be like a chicken meeting an eagle, limp and powerless, without the power to resist. The water dragon, which was originally powerful and mighty, was quickly vaporized by the terrifying flames of the Hado fire as soon as it encountered the Hado fire. The water dragon also let out a weak and miserable howl. Looking at this scene in awe, I couldn't believe it. Water Dragon Bomb is an A-level water-style ninjutsu. Even if he cast it hastily, the power is not small, but it shouldn't be something a genin can resist. What's more, the scene in front of you is not the Water Dragon Bomb being blocked. It was his A-level ninjutsu Water Dragon Bomb, which was crushed by Naruto with Hado. In less than a moment, the Water Dragon Bomb was completely vaporized by the red cannon and burned into ashes. How can this be? I can't believe it if I don't cut it. But the scene in front of him actually happened. Before he could react, the Hado fire evaporated the Water Dragon Bomb, roared angrily, and then continued to bombard Zabuza. There is no chance to dodge without cutting, and he watched the red fire cannon blasting towards him in horror. Bang! No more chopping. He was blasted away by the red cannon and slammed into the big tree fiercely. The huge power caused all the trees that were hit to be broken. If you don't cut it, you will be covered in scars and embarrassed. After a while, Zabujan got up from the ground in embarrassment, spit out a mouthful of muddy blood, and glanced at Naruto. His eyes were full of shock. Until this moment, I still can't believe it if I don't cut it. Naruto, a brat, can be so strong. If he smashed his beheading sword in the last round, it would just make Zabuken suspect that Naruto has any special means. But this time, Naruto defeated him head-on. This simply broke the cognition of not cutting again. Looking at Naruto, who didn't know when he was standing in front of him and glanced at him indifferently, after spitting out a mouthful of blood unwillingly, he said in shock and a little bit of despair, "I really didn't expect that Konoha would produce such a monstrous character like you. I lost. You kill me."
Thanks for watching. You can find the next videos in the playlist linked in the info card, directly on my channel, or right here on the screen. And as always, if you have any feedback, feel free to share it in the comments too.